Okay, guys. Hi. Yeah, hi. We're kind of starting up. Sorry for the little wait here. We needed to fix some remaining stuff here in the background. I'm gonna switch scenes now, and you're gonna see the magnificent eldritch situation that is happening here with the with Zehnpie. It's wonderful. Okay. Oh, you're
what the fuck happened to me?
You are existing. You are existing. This is what happened to you. Also, Morgan self-destructed, I think. Morgan, did you self-destruct? Okay, hi.
Like I said, these transmissions are always spotty.
Certainly are. Okay. Well, hi. Good start.
This is my first ever VTuber collab, and I look like this.
Yeah, you look like a abomination, slowly glitching
I'm like a
in
time
space.
traveler. It looks like I'm like coming out of a portal into a different dimension.
Yeah, you're like glitching out, and you're like, I think you forgot to deactivate the portal.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh.
Let me switch myself.
I think Morgan's getting sucked into my portal.
There we go.
I think Morgan is coming into me for some reason.
You're a little too powerful.
I was pulling him through you into me, into my portal.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go.
As you can see, guys, we're having a great start. Great first start. There's two Zehnpies. There's one Zehnpie behind another Zehnpie. It's like there's two wolves inside of me, but there's two Zehnpies inside of my collab.
It's like the Omega verse, yeah. There's just a dog in me.
There's two wolves inside of me, but there are two wolves inside of my collab here. Oh my god.
That's how it's done.
Yeah, this is how it's done. First, talks in the library, guys, and you have the mascot of VTube Studio just vibing in the background. That's all. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I'm poor, okay.
No, I know, she's just like vibing there. I like it. It gives this thing charm. Yes, charm. So, this is my first time attempt at the whole talk show thing. It's not even like a talk show, it's more of like a relaxing, vibey conversation kind of style of show, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna quiz you on your favorite style of music and ask who released the song in 1990s. That's not the type of talk show I'm like talking about. I'm gonna be chatting about like various things. Basically gonna be a big old chatting stream. I'm probably... Have you watched either of you watched Takahata's Weary 101? That's sort of the inspiration for me here.
Don't think so.
I have watched an episode or two, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of is, it's not bad. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely an inspiration. I'm not gonna be leaning that much into skits because I'm not funny. But yes.
Yeah, you know what you gotta call it when you call it. I mean, you gotta know what are your limits.
Yeah, I'm not
funny. I mean, I guess you're self-aware.
Yeah, I'm very self-aware. Yeah? I know my limits and that I'm not funny. And I'm not a professional actor. So yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna be basically doing.
But guys, remember, this isn't chill. I can't escape out of here. We're trapped inside. He trapped us in this library and we can't get out.
Yeah.
That's why I created this portal to try to escape, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and now there's two of you.
Yeah. The other one's trying to pull me out, but I can't.
It's kind of like you're trying to merge together here.
Yeah.
It's like my stepbro. My stepbro is trying to help me escape.
For a second, it looks like you have one tail. You got your both your tails merging together.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they started the process of merging. I don't really know why this event is happening here with your VTube Studio, by the way, Zehnpie. I never seen that happen to anyone ever when they use Ninja. But you are unique. You're a unique and special individual where you are continuously smacking the Zehnpie behind you with your own tail. Continue.
Just breaking everything. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, definitely.
When in doubt, break it harder.
Break it harder.
Is there any way to escape out of this library?
You know what? Fair.
There are windows.
There are windows, yeah, but there is space behind them, so you might not be able to breathe.
Yeah, I kind
I
of don't want to
mean-
die.
He may not be able to, but I'm pretty sure I can try.
Don't break my windows. They're very hard to repair in the vacuum of space. Genuinely, they are.
It sounds like a personal issue.
It is.
Yeah, sounds like a
It
skill
is.
diff,
It
to be
is.
honest.
I brought you tea. I invited you to join me here to talk about stuff, but you break my windows.
We only have one dish. You didn't even get enough food for all of us.
Wait, he gets tea or whatever a fruit that is on the table, and I get a candle and a book. Am I supposed to eat that?
You get nourishment from the knowledge.
So I get tea, and you have like a full meal on a plate for yourself. Like you didn't even get us a meal either. Like what the hell? Like come on.
I would have
Not even a dessert or anything. Yeah, I would like a happy meal.
Yeah, you can have a happy meal. Okay.
What am I supposed to eat? Paper?
Give me a
I
moment.
mean,
I'm supposed to eat this book in front of me?
at least you can read your book.
I can't read in general.
Oh,
that sounds like a
shame.
skill issue.
You
it
know
honestly
what?
is a skill issue right
I
there.
saw that coming. You're not fair.
Okay.
I kind of walked right into that.
Okay. Yeah. Let me. I must demand my honor demands that I do this.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it sounds good. It's perfect. I'm getting a PNG. Give me a moment.
Oh, bring on the PNGs.
PNGs, yes, PNGs. I'm getting a PNG. Okay, I got the PNG. Okay, so since you wanted a hospitality, that's not the wrong one. Okay, hospitality. Have you go. This for you.
Ah, fantastic.
Oh,
Sustenance.
Sustenance, yes. Yes.
where's my toy?
Oh wait, you actually keep the toy?
Yeah, you
see.
guys keep the toy. It's inside the box. See.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, what toy is it?
It's Lightning McQueen.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
You saved yourself there.
It's
You
like
understand my childlike brain. You realize I'm young enough that I watched Lightning McQueen as a kid, so
your accent made it sound like you're saying Lightning McCream, and I'm like, okay.
As a kid. Huh.
Lightning.
Wait.
yeah.
Damn.
It's one of my childhood movies. I'm not.
No,
that,
no,
I'm not that old.
Your accent made it sound like you're saying, I misheard it as you saying Lightning McCream, and I'm like, wait, excuse me?
I mean, I've seen people talk about like car bussy. That's a thing. So
I wish it wasn't a thing, but I know it's a thing. Wish it wasn't a thing, but it's not. It is a thing. Anyhow, you know, with this talk of car bussy, can we just introduce ourselves here really quickly? I'm gonna start with the introduction rounds. Hi. Hello, I'm the Observer, Theodore Aka, aka the Observer. I'm the librarian and the host of today's show, Talks in Library. I haven't slept for 20 hours, so if I'm experiencing some brain lag, I apologize in advance. I am here having my two lovely guests here. Introduce thyselves. Morgan, you're first.
Yeah, perfect. I am a technician on a space station, though I'll probably be changing myself here soon enough after I get a few promotions. But I am a variety streamer. I am also... Really? Hands? Okay. I am also a voice actor for what I do, as well as various other roles I play, including support technician for various streamers and other people who do need help every now and then. Other than that, I am very generic and I do what I do best. That's helping people.
That's lovely. Welcome
I sadly
here.
don't have I sadly don't have a special introduction. I just make fucking cringe on the internet. You know, yeah, skill diff. I'm Australian, so I have the Aussie debuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could start by
Yeah,
saying your name.
That's
Is
my
it a-
accent. My accent was the debuff. You already said my name before. Hi,
Introduce yourself
I'm
anyway.
a furry.
Okay,
yes. I'm the Omegaverse wolf.
I see.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good. It's
breaking
good.
dimensions.
Yeah, it's good that you
And
pursue your
breaking into
dreams.
your eye, believe.
Yeah, it's good that
See,
you
I
pursue.
want to
Yeah.
just talk and bring shit up, but you are just like bringing it right to there, and I'm just like, wow, this is gold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm. He
yeah,
can't filter me. He knows
yeah.
it.
Like
He knew what he was in for when he brought me onto here.
yeah. The thing is, this episode is there's absolutely no filter here. I am a person who generally has no filter myself. I don't really make a lot of crude jokes myself, but when I do speak clearly and entirely honestly. Same here. I like people who are absolutely like straightforward with their opinions and whatnot.
What? Oh my! I'm opening dimension. Oh my god.
It's back to normal. Don't worry about it. The Luma key.
I mean, I think that's what Gacha did to you, like Gacha brain rot. You know, you kind of have to be honest at that point. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely. I played so much gacha games at this point. I just don't give a shit what other people think.
yeah, it
about
kind of
what
scares
I say.
me, to be honest. I'm kind of afraid of you because of that.
Yeah. I just
I don't know how you
just
do
spent
it.
I just spent 6 hours finishing the event like a few hours ago.
Okay, the question is
Oh,
though,
wow.
so you spend all that time playing them, do you spend money?
No.
Because that's where the real, like... Okay, you know what? I respect that. You know, you're better than the people that spend money. I respect for that.
Yeah, the thing is, okay,
a free gacha player, I respect
yeah,
that.
just to explain something, I'm a free gacha player, but you cannot tell that because I'm a free to play person who gets more characters than whales.
That's weird, but I've seen it before. It's really the luck of the RNG.
Yeah, like what happened is with the Path to Nowhere recent events. So okay, they have a half anniversary event, and through the half anniversary event, they introduced like a bunch of fucking banners, right? Like a fucked up bunch of it. But there's one banner for a special character, another banner for another character.
Streamer Luck Theo.
Yeah, and the third character was like introduced as a rerun of the previous like banner of the half anniversary, right? All three of them are really good. All three big S classes. So what happened is I rolled 10 pulls, first 10 pulls. I didn't get the first unique character. Then I rolled the second 10 pulls. I got the first unique character. I rolled the third 10 pulls. I got the second unique character. I third the fourth 10 pulls. I got 2 of them of the third one. One 10 pull per banner. That's it. That's all I need.
How many fucking
Wow.
gacha games are there? Jesus.
There are many gacha games.
More than you can imagine.
Oh, there are many gacha
Oh.
games out there. Oh, many. I don't play all of them, obviously. I played like a few of them at a time, and most of them I dropped at this point. Like I don't even like touch
You
them at
see
this point.
50 episodes of Path to Nowhere.
Oh yeah, most of them are just events, timed events. Like timed events, and a bunch of them are just like pre-recorded videos for like 30 minutes, which is basically spreading the normal stream of 4 hours into like 5 videos. It's not that intimidating as it seems. It's Path to Nowhere just kind of like followed my mess of a story in content creation because I had a big burnout period there, and I decided I'm just going to record videos while I'm feeling burnt out, right? And that's where those videos came from largely, because I wasn't streaming for a while. But yeah, my gacha game addiction does not have anything to do with the nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I just have a good addiction. It's a thing.
Oh, the
Save
person
him,
on the
save
right
him.
is duplicated XD.
Yes, the person
That's
on the
it,
right
that's
is
how it's
indeed
done.
duplicating. It's
Maybe there's some self-help books in here. Is there one? Is there like a gacha like self-help book? Like
It's called gambling addiction.
yeah.
I guess basically his gambling addiction. Yeah.
The funny,
we need one of
my
those, like, books, you know.
free to play gambling addiction.
It's like gambling addiction for dummies.
Gambling addiction for babies. Because you don't lose money at all unless you spend money, in which case you lose money.
Honestly, yeah.
As my elder, don't get me into them.
Yeah,
Save me.
but yeah, I already spoke about my gacha addictions here, so let's focus a little bit.
Can't get away from the gotcha gambling addiction.
Can it get away from gacha gambling addiction? Absolutely cannot. At least I can't. Everyone else can, and because I will gacha for your sins. We'll gotcha for you all, so you don't have to gotcha.
Oh wow, you know what? That I appreciate that. You'll take the plunge and the pain and misery for all of us.
Yeah, I gotcha for you all, so you don't have to gotcha. I will record all these stories, so you
Oh,
don't have
you
to gotcha.
gotcha. Yeah, you
I gotcha.
gotcha
I
us. Oh
gotcha.
my god, that was a terrible. That was a horrible
No.
pun.
I gotcha. Don't worry. My brain is not working at this point.
I'll be lurking here.
Ah.
All I'm doing
Yeah,
is
it's understandable. You guys sound like you've
and
been through a
work.
lot.
Cedilla.
No, I'm sane.
No, I'm saying, definitely saying. I
Have
just
fun
haven't
on the
slept for
stream
20.
though.
Thank you, Bachi. But yes, okay. So honestly speaking, for the first episode of Talks on Library,
Classic Theo dad jokes.
Classic Theo dad jokes. Yes, for the first episode of Talks on Library, I kind of want to focus on the whole VTubing shenanigans, because then it would like,
Miss
also
Mooney though.
you're being covered by chat, so I'm gonna move you.
I see that.
You're being like,
Chat's joining me in my new dimension.
The way
They're
I
coming
imagine-
to
They're
pull
kind of
with me.
chewing on you. Are you trying to chew on the chat over there?
Yeah, the way
Yeah.
I imagine you getting smacked with those messages as they appear, like smack, ow.
I mean, I feel like some people in chat might like me, like they get the little like nibble.
I'm sure some of them would like to. Anyway, let me move you a little bit, and let me move myself a little bit as well.
There we go.
There you go.
What about my McDonald's?
It's still within reach. You can grab that.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I guess I can.
Yeah, okay.
It's not too far away.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a reach.
Miss Mooney is good though. I like Miss Mooney. She's cool. Anyway, what I wanted to say is basically VTubing thing. This is my first talk show here, so I want episode of the whole VTuber connection and just content creation connection. So I wanted to ask you here, because we're talking about the origins of things, and considering this is like the origin episode of whatever big series that will be happening here, what caused you both to go into content creation? General, I'm just curious. My curiosity here. So who's gonna start on this one?
Which one of you want to go first? I don't mind. You pick whoever. I'll let you pick. Okay, Mr.
sure.
Mr. It's your show. Your show. You pick.
Okay, sure. I guess I will be making decisions. And for that reason alone, Zen, you're first.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I spoke on. I got thrown under the bus. Okay. I see. I see you. I can see you. Okay. I see what you did there. Okay. Bruh.
You chose for me. Thank you.
Okay, well, I guess I will start then.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I am like a little bit of a, I'm a younger boy, I'm a Zoomer,
The
I'm not as
brains are
old as you
braining
are, I'm not
XD.
ancient and old and decrepit. I don't know why I'm being so mean for, but I was like, I was like, going to high school, I was like 16, 17, and I didn't really, I at the time, I didn't have a computer, I didn't have anything, so, like with any other person, I would like watch content creators, and it was something I always wanted to do, and I got a laptop for school, and literally what I decided to do was, I think I saw this person who did like Niji Sanji reactions, and I was like, damn, how does this bitch get so much views? I think I can do that. I was like, I want those fucking views. I mean, I'm just being honest here. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And so I got my shitty laptop. I had a cardboard box, and I sat on the floor with like a $20 mic that I randomly found. And for like almost 7 months, I just sat on the floor with a cardboard box with my laptop webcam, where like it's horrid quality. It's like 20 FPS, but I did like Niji Sanji reactions, and it still got traction. I got to like 1,000 subs by like sitting on the floor.
Yeah,
And I just like built up from there, and then just like upgraded as I went.
honestly, fair enough. a lot of people I kind of heard about, they start from the similar spot. They kind of just start with the shittiest condition, with the shittiest like microphones, with the shittiest everything, and they sort of kind of build up. If I remember correctly, Iron Mouse started by using a free model from like VTube's YouTube, whatever, and then she had like a laptop that was falling apart and like held together by a spit and a promise and a happy birthday. And then she basically went from there. Okay, now what about you, Morhan?
Oh man, that's a big question on that one. What started it all? Well, yeah, say I was part of the generation that was part of all the content creation when it was beginning. I wanted to do this for ages. I was one of the ones who watched Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, all those other guys when they were doing that, PewDiePie, when they started out. I was like, I want to do that too. I can do that. I didn't have a lot of the resources people did to have to do that stuff, so I wasn't able to do a lot of it. So I didn't do anything and fast forwarded on until suddenly a hilarious fox was on YouTube talking about Wendy's burgers. And I realized, oh, I don't have to be an actual streamer. I was a face streamer before then. And when little Fubuki was going on about Wendy's burgers and just having a fantastic time talking about her reaction to seeing all the different types of burgers, I was like, oh, I never even thought of that. I always thought you always had to either be live or a voiceover, not have a medium to speak through, and that got my attention. So I started looking around and tuning in more, and well, then I realized, oh, there's a whole community behind this, and it fed into more and more of it being like, I can have fun and do what I wanted to do and not have to worry about anything. And yeah, it kind of grew into what I've been doing lately.
Just like imagine the fours like, oh, I want to be a furry too. I love this fox on the internet. Yes.
She was very cute, and then I realized that there was a lot of more content creators, good and bad, and I was like, well, those are standard with everything else, but it would be interesting to be able to do the voice work I do without having to really compromise and be like, yes, you have to throw yourself out in the public. But do I?
Yeah.
But do I really?
No, you don't have to. I feel like a lot of the people, a lot of the voice actors here these days kind of make sure they don't really show themselves up as much. I mean, Sayu is a great example. He voices in a lot of like gacha games and a lot of other stuff, but he's essentially a VTuber. He doesn't really show his face as much online.
Not for his streams, no. But in real life, he's a very public figure when he does his work. He's not shy about that. But when it comes to his streams, he's very much he's not his name. He's not his voice actor. He's Sayu.
Yeah.
And everything else all entitled into there. Kind of like Monarch. It's you don't see her on stream being herself. She's on stream being Monarch.
Yeah.
It's the nice distinction between the two.
Yeah, it's still nice that this PDM allows this to happen in the first place, because I know it's a good imagination. Actually, I do want to say it kind of your point kind of does lead into my point, because I also was the part of the generation to watch all of these people on doing Let's Plays initially. I was also there. Watching like Markiplier and PewDiePie and all of these other people who will become either controversial as fuck or continue doing stuff. Like Cry and whatever, like those people.
Dude,
this just shows how young I am in between. I started watching YouTube in 2017. It was like 2016, 2017. So I was like 12. That's when I started watching. I only got the internet when I was like 12.
I see.
Damn, you are young.
Yeah, you're pretty young.
I can't believe my mom
Like,
would keep me away from the internet.
Bro, I grew up with the creation of YouTube. I was around before YouTube was around.
YouTube was created when I was like 1.
Yeah.
Or, like that was like 2005. So I was like 2. Oh, because I was born 2000, like the end of 2003. So it was like.
Yeah, I was born at the start of 90s, so I was basically around already by the time YouTube was created, and I was already on the
YouTube. You're probably close to the same age as myself.
Yeah, we're pretty much around the same age, I figure. And I was there, and I was sitting there and watching videos and scrolling through like after school. After school, pretty much. I was just scrolling through videos when it was the initial rudimentary YouTube kind of thing. I remember watching when the first big things arrived on YouTube. It was Smosh. It was the that guy with glasses production that a lot of them came from to YouTube initially for their
I remember those.
yeah. All of these skits, all of these like video reviews, all of these old movie reviews. That angry video game nerd also arrived for the old video games reviewers.
I remember that. I remember where how Rage Games started, where Michael Jones went on the where he started on YouTube, where he was just raging at these games, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's great!" And there was just so much that
that kind of initial push to my brain as a younger person, right? I was just like this push to my brain from all these people doing all this creative bullshit, right? I'm pretty much, I imagine it's the same for you, Zen, but it's just like time later, like I can do that too. This creative bullshit is fun, right? I want to do that too, right? It's the same thing 20 years past, or like it's the same thing eventually. Even though like 15, 20 years have passed, the origin of a lot of people who become VTubers and like content creation, it essentially remains the same, because ultimately by the end of the things, it's just you looking at someone and saying, I can /do/want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot more, like, obviously, like, normalized or, like, heightened now in comparison to back then, obviously, because, you know, the internet's a lot more prominent now. YouTube's obviously, like, 10 times as known.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's definitely just, like, as time went on, it's sort of more and more of a thing where just more and more sort of, like, kids and younger people sort of look up to these creators and want to do it.
Oh man, imagine when remember the time when the fucking 1 million views on a video was such a big achievement that nobody ever achieved. Remember that, Morgan?
Yeah. Well, and see, here's the thing with that is YouTube has gotten so far up its own ass about that, is that, oh yeah, you want to get monetized, that's 3 million on a short. Bro, what?
Yeah, it's like
it's like, wow. I remember the 1 million being an achievement here, but wow, that bar's been raised up real hard and fast. 3,000.
Yeah, the bar has been definitely raised. And it's to a point where I think, though, to be fair, I do respect a certain degree of standards when it comes to YouTube's partnership system. If I remember correctly, on Twitch, when it comes to Twitch, you just kind of like appear, you vibe for like 5 minutes around, depending on things. You get like 3 viewers for like a week, and that's it. You can be monetized. You won't get any money out of this, but you can be monetized. Like I got monetized on Twitch when I started on Twitch initially in 2022. I got monetized in a week.
Yeah, I like that better, because even if I don't make money, I have the option to. Whereas YouTube's like, okay, you've been farming how long? You've been doing what for how long? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nope, doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 5 years or 10 years. Doesn't matter. Your quality is not good enough. Oh, what's that? We should change your... Nah, you should up your quality. I'm just myself. Then maybe you should stop. And then it's like, oh, okay, I'll just try harder over here. Oh, hey, look, you're monetized in a week.
Yeah, true.
What?
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just put more effort over here then.
Yeah, fair enough. Personally, I think on my side, I think the they did lower the specifications for stuff though recently. It was 5,000 hours, and now it's like 3,000 hours. 3,000 hours and 500 subscribers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what it was. They did lower it. That I'm somewhat agreeable with. It's still kind of that high note, but it's not so bad.
500 subscribers, impossible. 500 subscribers is not impossible without to achieve.
Oh no,
definitely
no. That's
not.
doable. It's the hours that's the hard part.
Yeah, it's most of the time it's definitely the hours, because you can see a lot of channels, they have like 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, and they don't have the watch hours, mate. And that's could just be dependent on they make content that they don't upload like frequently, and they can't make up those hours. It's definitely 100%. It's not the subscribers. I think it's definitely the hours that people struggle to get to.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how I managed to get to the hours I require, but I did get to the hours I require far earlier than I ever did the subscribers. Even before they rolled out the upgrade, let me show you. Let me just quickly go earn. I currently have on my hands. Does it show how many? I have 5,916 public watch hours currently.
Wow. Yeah, no, I see. I barely squeak by with 433.
Can I check mine?
like,
how do you
ouch.
check it?
It's an earn.
Oh, you go into your
earn tab.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also like in the last year, so it kind of works, right? 4,000 hours in the last year.
It's all within the last year.
Like I have 6,000 effectively watch hours in the last year.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I think I gained is from just people watching my shit. Like, I have a lot of consistent viewers, thank God. Thank God for them.
Oh, there you go.
And like, for example, a video, just analytics talks really quickly. When you do a video or when you do a stream on YouTube, you finish the stream and it kind of shows how much watch hours you got from that stream, right? And once you finish the video, so I was streamed for 6 hours. The last game I played,
waving.
and it was the Path to Nowhere stream that I did. It was 6 hours, and then I finished the stream. And because there were so consistently people, there were consistently 10 to 11 people in the stream throughout the entire 6 hours. I landed with 40 watch hours from that alone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 40 watch hours. Like just from that fucking stream alone, I got 40 watch hours. That's just how it works. That's how YouTube works. It kind of compiles every single person's watch hours of yourself, and like fuels it into a count. It kind of combines them together into a count, right? Though clearly it depends on how popular the stream is. If you only have like one viewer, obviously you're gonna get only like the entirety of the stream duration of the video. But like if you get for 4 viewers, for example, and they stay there consistently, right, throughout the entire stream, that's gonna be magnified by 4. Like for example, 6 is gonna be magnified by 4, or 6 is gonna be magnified by 10, etc., etc. Which helps, definitely helps. I don't know what happened, but they definitely kind of started to. Actually, one thing I noticed about the YouTube algorithm as well, they do that thing when before 1,000 subscribers, you have shit algorithm a lot of the time. Your subscribers nearly never move, right? It's like slowly creeping towards like the advanced goal. But as soon as you cross over 1,000 subscribers, suddenly the algorithm comes alive. I've noticed that phenomenon a lot of creators I watch personally and I talk with personally, but like as soon as they cross the 1,000 mark, the 2,000 mark was not nearly as troublesome as it was the 1,000 mark, right? Or 2,000, 3,000 mark. It was nearly not as troublesome. Have you noticed both of you have above 1,000?
Well, I mean, for my experience, I think it took me like 7 months to hit 1K, and after I hit 1K, in like less than like 6 months after I got to 10K.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
And
Oh wow, yeah, that's impressive. I'm sitting here at 6, and that took maybe about a year to get up to that point.
Yeah.
But I am going to have to say that yeah, it did grow really fast. I was sitting here like, hey, look, I got 500 people, and then it was like, how did I get 1,000? Where did all of you come from?
Yeah.
And then it was like 2,400.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's like a certain burst of algorithm that happens whenever you reach a certain marks of being on YouTube. It was 500 that's one mark, and 1,000 and another mark. And 1,000 is basically when the algorithm considers you a full-fledged creator, is what I understand at least. And so
that makes sense.
You start getting subscribers much faster, even though your algorithm don't actually your numbers don't actually show on the channel itself, because you get 1.01, 1.02, 1.03. You don't get like direct numbers of like 3. 975, 978, right? They don't get those numbers anymore at some point, right?
Right.
You only get the 101, 101, 102, unless you check your like direct statistics. It will be very vague there. For some reason that causes like the subscribers to grow much faster. I don't know what the cause, maybe because, as I said, it considers you a full-fledged creator, but yeah. And that kind of made me ponder how a lot of these creators that we used to watch, how they must have felt, because I do remember watching Jack, right? Jack was sitting in below 1,000 subscribers for so long, if I remember correctly. He sat there
That
for,
doesn't-
yeah,
Real OG.
yeah.
Yeah, he probably didn't even know about it. It just happened. Like, what are you doing? That just happens.
Yeah, he
You
said,
mean,
yeah.
oh, he's a new streamer.
Yeah.
I don't know how well he'll do, and then suddenly it's just boom.
Yeah,
What? That was fast. What happened? Got good, or the algorithm decided to grant him mercy,
yeah,
and this is the result. It's like, that is impressive.
yeah. So honestly, I'm more impressed by the fact that a lot of these people who became the giants they are today, they grinded out that period of time and uncertainty when none of them knew that they would ever reach to those heights, where they basically sat there in an unknown territory in a completely uncharted land of YouTube when it was YouTube Let's
Right.
Plays, and they sat there with probably 100 subscribers for months and months and months and months, like not even 1,000, 100, 200, 300 for months, and then something happened, and suddenly, I remember Jack talked about it, suddenly I was growing to like 100,000 suddenly, very quickly. I was like, okay, what is happening here, huh? That's kind of explosive growth, I think, comparatively speaking to the it's extremely painfully long lull of nothing. I feel like that's part of the reason why this whole content creation process is both the most exciting thing ever and also the most excruciatingly the excruciatingly monotone thing, because it's like it's either going to go like gas or not gonna go though. In a lot of the
Yeah.
situations.
A good way of saying it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I finally found my watch time. This is in the last year's 154,000 hours.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the thing is though, like, questions that I get a lot is like people will be like, "Oh, like, what did you do? Like, how did you blow up?" And it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of creators, they don't know. Like, you can't directly tell you. Like, they have a sense of idea, but
Yeah.
it's like I can't really like say to you, "Oh, you do this and you're gonna 100% instantly blow up." It's like that's not how that works. It's like there's a certain extent that everyone sort of has this uncertainty. It's sort of like you have to just do it and shoot your shot.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, you just have to start.
Exactly. And I talked to a lot of creators myself, on and off, like in DMs or whatever, and everyone gives the same fucking answer always. Like, how do you blow up? I don't fucking know. That's
Some like to tote their own weight around and go, oh, I remember when I got, or the reason why, it's because I released a good video that had awesome editing at Maxor levels, and I had him do this, and oh, it just launched me to the moon. Oh, that's how this is all working. And it's like, bullshit.
yeah, it's bullshit. Like,
You didn't know that
Yeah.
was gonna happen. Just locked out, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it really comes down to, is lucking out. Unless you specifically tap into knowing how the algorithm works, which everyone says, oh yeah, I know how the algorithm works, you do this. You don't know.
You
really.
don't know.
You have an idea,
Yeah,
trial and error, but you don't know.
you don't know. No.
And it's just a lot of people who are like, oh, this is what we have to do. Don't know that. There's a lot of people who have started with nothing, sit there and grind, and then out of nowhere they do one collab. And in that collab they suddenly skyrocket.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
numbers explode. And it's like, what happened? They got noticed by a bigger channel. They got introduced to their audience. Well, that audience introduced it to their friends. Oh, there's the entire chain moving out from there. And that's all it takes. That's what the algorithm is. It throws what is important in front of other people, but
Yeah.
only when it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one Pacific streamer this ties to is like one of the biggest Twitch streamers now who blew up is Jinxie, and he's like, and his story was like literally, oh, he streamed to one viewer for an entire year plus, and then suddenly because of like I think like clips on TikTok, he just exploded. You know, it's like you don't really know, like you can't really ask, oh hey Jinxie, yeah, how did you blow up? It's like, oh. Yeah, have people clip you on TikTok and have those blow up. It's like it's not really there's no, I think, a real like, oh, just oh, sign up to Jake Paul's fucking like pay $500 for his course on how to be a VTuber. It's like, I guess he could give you some tips, but it's not a guaranteed success. Like you see like these like people that would be like, oh yeah, pay like $500 and join my like YouTube tutorial and you will be guaranteed to explode. It's like that's not how that works. It's like there's always going to be a level of uncertainty. I think you can have a sense of idea and direction, because I think what like helped me sort of be established is I think I had a sense of idea and I knew what I was doing, in the sense of I knew what content I wanted to do, and I knew the content that I thought that I could do that could give me the best chance at being successful. But it's like I still didn't know that I would be successful. And it's sort of the thing where you also have to be extremely consistent with it. You have to keep on sort of going. So it's like, for a lot of people, it's like, yeah, your first video is not going to blow up and get you like 100,000 views. It happens to some people, but most likely it's not going to happen to you, no matter how good the video is.
Mm-hmm. And to speak about the tutorials really quickly, from my side of view, I think I watched so many of those tutorials, and ultimately what they say is they say the same slop that everyone else is regurgitating. And it's just like, okay, cool, thank you for saying the same slop. I'm gonna tell a little story that happened to me on earlier days of my VTubing. No names here, obviously, because I don't really want to do this stuff but there was a commission for a VTuber manager, right? And I was not knowing what the fuck to do with my life. So I decided to commission this VTuber manager to take a look over my Twitch, because I was back there, I was on Twitch. So what happened is, I got I paid like $200, I think, or something like that, for a month, right? And because I was young and naive in terms of VTuber, and young and naive in terms of like what kind of people to talk to and what kind of people to talk to. So what I got is, and I'm not joking, I got 2 documents. 2 Google Docs explaining basic advice I can find on any free video ever. Have you tried getting that? Basically boiled down, have you tried getting better?
Have you tried uploading more?
Have you tried getting better as a content creator? Have you tried like doing this stuff that I said I don't know how to do? Have you tried doing that? No? Okay, cool. Thank you for your $200. Go fuck yourself. Like, there are people.
See, at that point, I would have just refunded it.
Yeah,
I would have been like, no.
Yeah, there are people like that out there that basically will take advantage of those naive people who just want to find this big magic formula of how to do things to get like money from off of them, and that's totally something I see happening around a lot of the time. But it's just like there is no such formula. There's just simply none.
Yeah. I think this is something also to sort of apply to, I think, a lot of people sort of, the magical land of VTuber and companies and agencies. But like, oh, well, if I join an agency, then I'm instantly going to blow up and it's all magical and wonderful and I'm going to have a manager and it's just going to be sunshine and rainbows. It's like, that's not how being in a company works. It's like, It's really not. I mean, unless I guess you get into like Hololive or Holo Stars, but most likely you're not going to get into those, and even if you get into those, you have to work hard. You can't just like slack off.
Not even slack off. You're essentially joining a full-time job at being a content creator. Streaming isn't your main job. Your main job is the content you're making behind the scenes. You could spend, like, I have seen a lot of what they do, and a lot of that is them, okay, well, we're going to have to make thumbnails for each individual stream. You're going to have to plan out each stream. Make sure you have everything you know and what you have to do. Okay, you have to have your membership set up. Don't have a membership yet? You're going to have a membership. You got to make sure you have your membership set up. You're going to have thumbnails separate for that. You're going to have to make sure you know what you're going to talk about beforehand so that we get into it. it's not downtime. Then it's also like, oh, you want to collab with someone, you got to check in with that collab. You got to make sure that your timing matches up with this one. You can't have downtime before then. You have to have that scheduled out. You have to work, make your own schedule. It is almost worse than being your own kind of worker, your own self, because everything you're doing isn't at your own will. You are a part of the company, so the company expects you to know what to do.
Because it's like a middleman, you have to ask permission for things on top of everything. You're like, oh, can I do a cover this song? Has to go through a filter. Can I collab with this person? Has to go through a filter. Like you have to kind of ask for permission for like everything. There's like extra sort of layer of on top of everything. You don't get freedom, whatever you can do, and then it goes through a filter. And it's like, hey, I really want to do this, but then your manager might be like, nah, sorry, go fuck yourself. We can't do that.
It's also your manager who's there to be like, yes, you can do this. No, that's a stupid idea. But they don't tell you that. They don't want to be mean. But they say that idea won't work well. How about this instead? And they try to steer it to a better idea.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They don't do the whole no. But it's also like, I really want to do this. That takes permission. We don't do that here. We have to ask permission. I could just play a game, and I'm based in the US. I don't have your copyright laws. You're hired by us through our company. We're a Japanese company. We require written consent by the company to stream any game. We have to have that license or that permission.
Yeah, effectively. I feel like it's with the company life, it comes with the whole obvious reference to risk versus reward. At the end of the day, like when you come into a company, you want to know that you will be working hard, right? Some people are just not fit for that kind of environment, right? They kind of like break down easily under the stressful environment of working, and not necessarily essentially going successful like immediately after, right? They broke down like super quickly, and that's not to shade anyone, right? But it's just essentially similar thing happened to Zenith, right? The thing I was a part of is like a lot of people were just not really vibing this whole thing happening, and there was a lot of really other stuff, either minor stuff happening around everything, but ultimately it was just the stress of it all that couldn't really I feel like it couldn't really take off and make everyone focus. So basically people just went their own separate ways at the end of the day, so that's fine, right? But when the company is as big as Hololive, you have to sort of though to be fair, Hololive is a good example, because despite the fact that there's like a really hard workload, it seems like the reward they receive is very worth it, because they're still working on it. They're still working there. I don't think there's been a single graduation in the last year aside from like termination of Mel. I don't think there has been a single graduation.
Yeah, I don't think so. Was it the last one before the termination? Was it Magni and Vesper probably?
Yeah, Magni and Vesper were the last graduation.
I don't think any Hololive members have been. I don't know when the last Hololive member graduated.
Mel.
No, I mean no, because she was terminated.
Rusia.
No, Rusia was far before that. Far before that.
No. I meant
in terms of like graduation or
Mel.
termination.
Yeah, it was Mel, and there was a lot of issues with Mel that was going on, and she willingly.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on with that one.
Yeah, Mel had a hard situation, and then she basically had to.
Yeah.
I think she got like screwed over by someone as well, But honestly, I do feel like the fact that she got let go like very amicably, that's the problem. That's the difference between her and Rusia, is that Mel got let go very amicably, and there was a lot of goodwill related towards her, and she continued streaming on her private account after that artifact.
I believe everyone agreed that for Mel, it was a mistake that was made, and unfortunately, they can't undo it. Pandora's box was open.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't close it. So unfortunately, you messed up.
Yeah, you have to.
And this is the consequences of your actions. Sorry, but we love you.
Yeah.
Whereas Rusia's was a very much stop talking, oh my god, shut up, stop it, oh god, and then it just boiled over to, well, we can't put the boiled water back in the pot. It's out. Yeah. It's about. There's just pain and chaos now.
Yeah.
And they had to take action of, if you had stopped, there would have been a different outcome, but you couldn't. So distance, and that was the big part with her, which really sucked.
Honestly,
But
Mikaneko
it's-
/ Rushia / whatever her name was in Vishoja, I don't remember. She was she's such a volatile person. Honestly, like from everything I've noticed about her, she's a very volatile person. Like in terms of a lot of her behavior, her habits. You don't really see many people who genuinely adopt the supposed Minhera style of personality as much as she does it, and she sometimes seems like she's just like that.
The other issue is that there is a term that fits who she is, and it's terminally online.
Yeah,
Which
effectively.
she is,
Yeah.
because she's been looking around. She very much followed and looked through all personal media stuff. She would search herself quite often to find out who's talking about her, what's going on, what's happening, what's in the know about my name. Not just who she was at the time, but her various other identities. And it's like, you just need to stop. No, can't stop, won't stop. And she just went on from there. And it's like, you're constantly on X or Twitter. You're constantly on whatever social media, YouTube. We're just there. We're talking, you're doing, you're engaging. But when you do your stream and it's like, okay, you're just doing all of this the same way. Yes. It's like, step away. Just stop. Can't. You have to always have the last comment. You always have to say the next thing. You can't ever just leave it alone because you have to have the last word in. That ultimately came to bite her, as well as a lot of other factors. But it was just like a good number of other streamers, bigger streamers. This has all come back to them. It very much rolls into the idea of sometimes not saying anything is enough to make sure that you don't have any more issues. Instead, it's talking. It's, okay, well, I'm going to justify. No, just stop. Nope, can't do that.
Yeah.
They just won't. And say, just step away.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the internet usually ends up forgetting or being like, okay, so you haven't talked about this in a month. Yeah, it hasn't been worth talking about. And I'm not going to address it any more than this conversation because it's just not worth my time. If you want to talk about it so bad, there's a contact us. It goes to the company. You can go ahead and talk with them. I'm not going to talk about this. You want it from them, you can have it from them.
Yeah, the perfect example of how a person who's constantly being like attacked, same person from same company, obviously, Calliope Mori, the bane of fucking Twitter's existence, who constantly gets attacked by everyone on Twitter all the time. I don't really know why at this point. She just like, everyone just like gets triggered by her constantly. She does not give a shit. She never comments on them. She never gives them any fuel to the flames. She never gives addresses to any of it because she knows exactly what she wants. She knows exactly what she does. She knows exactly how she wants to get there, and fuck the haters. And that's fine.
For the most part, the only time I've ever seen her actually say anything against anyone that was going on was when she had her cowboy outfit reveal.
Yeah. That
Well,
and the
remember
whole,
how she had the car
yeah.
that was written
yeah.
as horse because of all the stuff going on? Yeah, that was about the only time she's actually said something against people. Are like, really? It's because of you guys that this is the cause. Everyone thought it was funny because of how she phrased it, but other people were just kind of like, yeah, that's bad. But it was like one of the very few times where it's like, it's very memorable because it was just like so outspoken of, yeah, those guys are to blame. Yeah, there's just no way around that. But as she does end up getting the most flack for all this stuff. I don't know why. It's really weird.
It's really weird.
I guess
it's like someone painted a big black target on her back for reasons. Like, okay,
yeah,
you don't like her music, what of it? Like, what's the reason for you to continue pursuing interacting with the person whose music you don't like? What's the reason? Like, she doesn't even do like anything problematic per se. Like, she's not anything like what would be considered by Twitter as quote unquote problematic, which I fucking hate. That's another conversation entirely.
I mean, you can't reason with these people. I mean, there's no real logic behind it. It's like if they dislike somebody, they just dislike them. There's no real like inherent I think, logic actually behind the reasoning. It's just they just don't like that person as a target on them, and there's nothing they can really do to.
I think it's the standards. Nothing to do with about it, but it's a standard application of what of a confirmation bias in a lot of the Twitter cases, because Twitter is ultimately a bit of a echo chamber in terms of how it functions.
Yeah.
And when people want to find people who have similar opinions to them, other people decide to farm that kind of thing, like how a lot of the Streisand effect Twitter tangent things happen, like when the whole point of the reason to try and call out, like, for example, a lolly creator, right? They tried to call out a lolly creator, but whoopsies, they quote retweeted her stuff. So now the algorithm thinks that she's popular.
Yep, there was that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
There was a lot of those things that were going on.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
people can't leave other people alone. They always have to find someone to put them down,
Yeah,
or someone to put down to make themselves better.
Yeah, I think Twitter kind of creates this echo chamber where it's like somebody can say the most ridiculous and stupid bullshit, but if it gains traction, people are going to be like, oh, no, I agree with this. And it sort of carries on. It carries on this momentum of a tweet getting traction, even if it's like, trying to cancel Callie over something that's stupid. There's going to be those people that will like it, they'll retweet it. And it's like, because it's getting likes, because it's getting tractions, those people who are like in the shadows are going to come out and be like, oh no, I agree with this opinion, and it just goes out of control, and that's sort of how Twitter kind of is.
Yeah, there's a number of situations I've seen like this, or a bigger content creator, it's like, oh, damn, I love that game, I should check it out. And then suddenly there's like 3 other VTubers, streamers that are just like, oh man, this game looks interesting. It's like, the only fucking reason you feel it's interesting is because that other content creator talked about it. That other streamer said, oh, this looks interesting, I'll look into it. They don't know it's not a multiplayer game. They don't know it's a single player JRPG adventure. All they see is, oh, the new current big streamer that everyone else is talking about and has just everyone's words on their lips finds this game interesting. I better throw my hat into the ring and say, hey, what is it? Xenoblade Saga is super interesting too. Maybe they'll think I'm cool and want to collab with me. Maybe I can, so I might be a fan of Xenoblade myself. Would you like to collab sometime and go over our characters? And it's like, no. I don't know you, and I don't want to. But there's a lot that suddenly came out the woodworks. And it's like, I see a lot of those now, and it's one of those things where I can see it by being objective and going, who is this? They have never commented. They've never been a part of this, so they don't care. The only thing they see is another attempt at scoring a bigger mark, or going into someone else's community and be like, ah, yes, I can make do with here. I can go ahead and work with this. And it's like, it's fairly obvious what you're trying to do, but you are trying to think it's very sneaky, it's hidden, when it's not.
Yeah.
And for some content creators, they just don't think that. They're not the brightest bunch.
Yeah.
As weird as it is to say that for some of these people who are really successful, is they are not the brightest people.
No, not the brightest.
They don't think, oh, this might get me in trouble. This might be construed as bad. It's just, well, no, I just want to really go ahead and work with them because they're a big content creator. After all, I'm a big content creator too. They'll work together, feed off each other. And when it turns out you're just like, oh no, I want to go ahead and do this and get some of their people. It's not how that works, my dude. Not at all.
Yeah. I think
I do think there's this.
Huh? No.
I do think there's this thing where there's this weird sort of like ideology where they think, oh, if a big creator notices me and I collab with them, that means I'm going to be successful. It's like, so that's not really how success works. It's not how you gain like long-term viewership. It's like, it's the same thing as like, when a big streamer raids your stream. It's not like those people are going to automatically become viewers of your stream and come back the next stream. You have like 10 viewers and a big streamer comes and you have 1,000 viewers now. It's not like you're going to stream next and have 1,000 viewers. That's not how that works.
Not only
that's
that,
not how you gain viewership.
Yeah, not only that, if you don't have the personality that is appropriate and interesting to those people who rated you, none of them will stay around. There's just like none of them will be staying around, and that's the same thing for big collabs. And the big person will never collab with you again because you're not funny or not interesting, not cool to collab with, right? You, as long as you need visibility, sure, but what you need more, what the most important quality you have to have is the understanding of what your strong points are, right? When it comes to content creation and what you want to do. Like ultimately that's what I do here, right? This show is my attempt to do just that. I discovered over the time I've been, like the last year or so I've been on YouTube, almost a year basically at this point. I just discovered that I'm really fucking good at getting into people's, how do I say it, good graces. Like, I'm just a good social guy. Like, I just like being social. It's just a part of my identity. I like approaching people. I like just vibing with them. I don't do it out of reason of ambition. Like, sure, I'm ambitious, right? I want to grow, right? But I don't do collaborations and interactions with people out of a desire to just like use them as a step stool and never talk to them ever again, right? I just want to make friends. That's just how I am, which is maybe naive a little bit, but yeah, I just want to make friends. I don't necessarily I don't necessarily want to collab to every person I talk to, because that's just unrealistic, and I still need to get my own content in.
That made me laugh there. I just want to be friends. Insert Twitter post here with 1,000 people. Post your link and your image below.
You heard me also chuckle when I mentioned that because I also remember that.
I see those. I used to do those a lot for just throwing my shit on there, and let's see. Fill it up for a guy who just realized it was Mother's Day this weekend. By the way, guys, if you're in the US, it's Mother's Day this Sunday. Be ready. None of you are. But yeah, there's a bigger issue where it's just like, oh yeah, I want to make friends. Okay, so what are you doing? Post your wink at below and go ahead and judge your video. Did you want to converse with anyone? Like, hope that they're good, decent people and they are not, raging racist on the side or overtly sexual, or that guy straight up beating off on stream and he makes no qualms about it, or the chick over there has her tits out and you're just like, hey, this collab has suddenly gone off the wheels. I can't show this anywhere content wise.
Yeah.
It's on Twitch and people are watching. Yeah? Yeah, are you really sure you want to jump into that right away? You said you were looking for friends. Well, there's your friend. It's like people jump into that and they're like, I'm waiting for the bigger streamers. And that's what I know some of them do, is who's got a complimenting look? Who's got that attitude that I can work with? No one. Or this person? Oh, it's a rare person. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and focus on that one person. And you have maybe 100, 200 replies. You content farmed successfully. Congratulations. Now, the next time you put up that post, unless you delete the old one, you have to hope that no one notices you delete the old one. You're going to get noticed for doing it. It's going to be, oh, wait, what? Didn't this person just do one of those? Why are they putting on another one? Oh, it's, can't have too many friends.
Yeah.
What? What? And then, I collab with them once, but never again. Oh, I talked to this person a lot. Yeah, how'd that turn out? Oh, they never collab with me. Oh, but you thought they were friends? Yeah. Clearly they're not, because if they don't want to talk to you and they don't want to have anything to do with you, they don't follow you anymore, or they follow you on an old account or something like that, it doesn't matter. You're not friends. That's the big difference. And for a lot of content creators, it's understanding they're not out for friends. They're not there to be friends. They're there to find someone as a stepping stool to move up, to collab with, to bring themselves out, and to move on. A lot of people don't see that. To them, it's just rose-colored glasses. Unfortunately, there's a lot of blood in the air, and it all looks the same, because you can't tell the difference between what's someone being nice and what's someone who's actually out to get you. That's the hard part.
Yeah, definitely.
It went from being, hey, we're all friends here, to the community. And it's like, okay, community that you see, the community, the VTubing sphere, There's a lot of them. They're all big, and they are all small. They probably don't include you at all, because they don't include me, who has been streaming for a very long time, both IRL and not. But the thing is doing that, you see a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of streamers who have just joined and immediately gotten scooped up. Not by the algorithm, but by other VTubers who are like, oh great, I love their voice, they're so cute and fun, yoink. You're now within my friend circle. Okay, they've just started streaming within a few months, they're already up to 10,000 followers, they're fully monetized, and they're in the pool. Cool. Don't know how they don't know a scam. Oh, hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and give you $500 as a super chat. Cool. Or as a Twitch donation. Awesome. And then it gets refunded. Well, what do I do? Nothing. That's what they do. Well, I didn't know that. I was already, I was so excited. You shouldn't have been. That happens all the time. It's never happened to me. And it breaks their confidence. And then more stuff happens. Like, did you not understand that a lot of people, they don't do well going from 0 to 100 without ever dealing with anything in between that gives them that mental fortitude of, yes, this guy needs to be banned. He may be your favorite your favorite stream or favorite chatter. Dude says some controversial stuff all the time, but you've known him since you started, but you don't want to get rid of him because he's that well known. But you have a dozen other people, 1,000 other people here. It's that, what do I do, don't I do kind of thing. Oh. Zehnpie just,
yeah, Zehnpie just
got swallowed by the
vanished.
void.
Yeah, Zehnpie?
Zehnpie?
Oh, he muted for some reason as well.
Oh, is he? I wasn't looking at the channel.
He's muted on Discord.
Okay. I guess I'll be back from the void here soon enough.
Yeah, I guess the void. I would hope the void returns Zehnpie soon enough. Pray, chat 07s for Zehnpie, please, chat.
Oh my
07s.
god, I ascended upwards. Wait, okay, sorry, I need to take my dog.
Did you
out of
fall
my
out of the
room.
floor? Did something suck you down there?
Yeah, the way that I left my webcam, my model just like went straight to the ground. He just disappeared.
Oh yeah, you went.
I was say it.
Yeah,
I think there's a setting for that because there's a setting that causes you to like expand super tall when you do it too.
Wait, it's like I don't know.
That was oh no.
That's interesting.
But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on with these streamers and stuff where it's like, the community is full of different circles because there's a bunch of big VTubers who are out there, and honestly, going along with it, some of them never have the same circle. There are people who are never touching within these VTube circles, and they could have thousands of followers here, thousands over here. Okay, the big circle over here might be your favorite character or your favorite streamer. But right over there is another person who's been streaming for even shorter amount of time and has twice as many followers. But you've never heard of them, but they're massive inside the sphere. Oh, well, it's just not a sphere you know about.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's just they think if it's one collective group. It's not.
It's not a community. I don't think it's a community at this point.
Yes.
It's just a style of content creation. I've seen many people at this point who stream on various platforms, again, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, and they just don't collab with any other people. Like I have a lady who I watch constantly, Ushio Ebi, right? She just does her own thing all the time. She never collabs with anyone. She has nearly 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do any collabs whatsoever. She basically just does stuff on her own. She plays gacha games all the times.
She's spreading the addiction.
Oh, no.
She's basically the OG gacha addicted person that came far before me.
Yep.
Yeah,
I can see that. That's a good thing though. For some people, that's what they want to see. Is I want to see this person gacha. How bad? Are they a whale? No, they're free to play. So all those 1,000 whatever else, fakes, orbs, coins. Yeah, that's all their effort. If it's gone, it's gone. I want to watch them burn. And next thing you know, you have 1,000 people like, burn, burn, burn. It's like, you guys are a bit malicious. It's like, no, we just want to see you pull. We want to see what the results are. We expect failure, but we're elated when there's actually success, because you can't disappoint us any further than this. We came for disappointment,
Yeah, exactly.
but we're expecting greatness.
Yeah, exactly.
And it fuels. It really does. And I for people who can do that and they keep themselves actually like sane, I very much enjoy watching those types of people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they're always creative.
You know, on the other hand of the spectrum of you was talking about the how disconnected the sphere is, when it comes to the earlier sources of VTubing, the wild late 2010s of 2016, 2017, 2018, they actually were the people who came in back then are legitimately all friends. They know each other. Like there's connections been popping up recently that has been basically like, how do you guys know each other? We just know because they have like several servers they had in for fledgling VTubing grew part of the Western world. It was legitimately very small back then. Because it was just basically appearing, and it was only largely popular on the in Japan back then. It's 2016, 2017, etc., etc. It was just largely popular in Japan. On West, it was nothing, right? Western people just didn't really understand what VTubing is at this point. So they created on all these like servers and shit where people to this day, people like Merryweather and Giga has known each other from there. Merryweather and some people who you don't expect to know each other, they know each other because of that, like the Frederick Knudsen situation.
He made
with
himself
Astroline.
he made himself very well known just for his Down the Rabbit Hole series. That was his entire thing, was he's a very well-known content creator, just like the way Nexpo did it.
Yeah.
It's because they were all following the trend of, oh, I can do this and it still works. Oh, this is current what people want to do. That sounds fine. But then you have people like XQC who are just big and they're like, you know what? People like this VTuber crap. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my tags, and then everyone freaks out because it's like, dude, you're not a VTuber. Well, why are you gatekeeping? It's like, I really wish someone had slapped you, because you've clearly never been told no in your life to get that attitude. But it straight up turns into that, where it's like, it's a trend for some and others it's not. But the whole time collection where people have sat there and known each other for so long, it's interesting. Because if you know content creators on YouTube for shit, we just mentioned them, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie,
They all know
they
each
all
other.
knew each other
Yeah.
from their content because
Yeah.
they were huge at the same time.
Yeah, they all know each other. They eventually kind of got to know each other personally. They might not talk these days nearly as much, sure, right? But there was a time where they were talked about. There was another group that basically Vanos and friends that also formed basically because people went, let's just do content. You guys do content, let's just do content, right? And that's why they formed these groups together in early days of YouTube stuff. They're just naturally formed. That's why I look at those days and I see the same thing happen around like here, VTubing world, right? With Vishoujo forming, and I still see videos saying how Vishoujo revolutionized the VTuber sphere. No, it didn't. It really didn't.
No, and they for a lot of those same ones, I'm noticing that when they say revolutionizing the VTuber sphere, they meant the indie sphere, the indie corporate sphere, because but it's like, no, they're a management group.
Yeah, it didn't.
They're
either.
not. They're Mystic.
Yeah.
It's just exactly like how Mystic runs things.
Yeah.
It's they get their insurance over them, their life insurance, their health insurance, their dental, life, whatever else. They're a corporation that is covering for them. They are still indie contractors, essentially. They are not employees. Maybe they are employees, but they're either employees or contractors, depending on how they are run. And the whole point of that is how it is functioning and how it's supposed to be done. Because you get very, very corporate in here.
Yeah.
Between Hololive and Niji Sanji and all that other crap that goes on with these companies. It's either, yes, they are a contractor. Okay? They are an employee. They are hired through us. Oh, okay, that's huge differences.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vishoujo's like, oh yeah, anyone can join. Anyone can join. They're under our umbrella. Okay. Well, what does that do? Well, that just means that you're under our umbrella of VShojo.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, well, that doesn't explain anything to the public person. But joining, that's a different matter, because those indie people, they know exactly what they need because they're big enough content creators and they're all friends of the same clique.
Yeah.
It's just all it is.
I know.
It's a small sphere.
I don't really understand why people are so hyped about VShojo. Like, oh, VShojo. No, it's just a clique. Ultimately, it's just a clique that happened to become the growing corporate shell at this point, right? I'm not shit talking them at this point, but it is like people hoping that they get into VShojo. Haha, funny. It's just most likely gonna be another VTuber from like older agency that Iron Mouse decides to scout because her left pinky decided to again. So it's just like, okay. And what else? And VShojo is worthless on its own. Like legitimately, it is. It's nothing. Like VShojo as a brand itself is worth nothing because it was created from the brands of the people who created it, like Nyaners, like Zentreya, like.
Well, Gunrun started his stuff doing the PC backpacks, which are really popular, and that's what front-loaded a lot of this. And then it grew into we're a VTuber agency, and here are the initial people who started with VShojo. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, cool, and then suddenly 3 of them are like, yeah, we want no part of this because it's very clear when you see it from the outside, and now that there's no drama to really poison the water, is okay, so. You left because it was like this. You left because it was like that. You left because you're psychotic. Got it. Wait, what? So you didn't leave because you're psychotic. You left because you were bullied. You left because you have parasocial issues or other things going on and it bled over. You just got tired of their bullshit because you noticed it was a clique. Oh. Yeah, that makes a big difference, and then it starts to grow.
I think Silvervale, personally, Silvervale definitely left because there was a clique, and that's undoubtable. Silvervale is always a mild person, if I remember correctly. I don't really watch her these days, but she was always a mild person. She just kind of likes the vibe. She's one of those really standard, and I'm not saying it like as an offensive term, like the standard word isn't used to like diminish. The standard is there are comfort streamers that don't really do anything revolutionary with their content, right? And they don't really do anything that is outstanding or anything, but they're very comforting doing so. I think Silvervale is that sort of thing for the slightly lewd approach. She's basically that. She's just comforting. Like she does everything that is like page by page the manual for slightly lewd VTuber is.
Well, she just does what works, and there's something wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, might have an issue when I see like people saying, "Oh, VShojo is revolutionary," because my vision as okay, if you're saying something's revolutionary, then it should be helping the industry as a whole. And it's like VShojo, because of the way it's built and how it's just a clique, that's not helping VTubing more in a general sense. Because like how I see it is, it's like how like normal facecam streamers are. It's that the top level streamers, they get these organizations to sign them on. It doesn't help the average streamer. VShojo is not helping the average VTuber. It's not helping the industry as a whole. It's helping the people who are just already within the clique, who are friends of Iron Mouse, the top level VTubers. It's not really doing anything to revolutionize the actual industry as a whole in that sense. Maybe in the corporate aspect is in comparison to how they treat other companies and stuff like that, but like as a whole, as an industry, I do not think VShojo is revolutionary in that sense.
It isn't.
Because so who remembers when the last time they were at a convention, and in order to deal with one, being in person, 2, COVID, they had the nice cool signage machine that signed things for you. Essentially, it's a 3D etcher just with a marker tied onto it.
Yeah.
Right, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But whatever happened to that?
Whatever happened to that? Oh.
it was a one-time thing.
Yeah.
They didn't bring it back out. It was never brought back in. There was another gun. Well, here's the fun thing about that is for a while there, we know that Zen has been working with Baffler, and they have been doing their own 3D creation, essentially. Because he had worked with both Zentrea and Silvervale
I
to
know I
create
am
a
bit behind, but I feel
webcam-only
like the
tracking
current state
for 3D and working.
YouTube/TikTok/Twitch
And that
is horrible.
really shows that's like,
There are
that would
very
be
few
awesome.
ways to
Do
actually
you know what
get
ended up happening
famous
with
and has
that?
resorted
As
to
Zen
people
had
defaming
said,
themselves.
that is
TRT1.
essentially up to, once they're finished with it,
Watching
up
you.
to
I
Baffler if
honestly
he
do
wants to
not
put
have
it
a lot
out,
of
or up to
ideas
them
of how
and
to fix
Baffler
it, but
if they
something
want to
needs
put
to
it
be
out,
done
or
about
if they
it.
want to go ahead and just keep it as to them only. So far, the only people I have seen use it is Zentrea and Silvervale, who is paying for it, who else helped funding his creation for it.
Yeah.
The other, what was that, over Christmas time? She had an entire interactive map, an entire like D&D style campaign made on Twitch that allowed the players to play, the chat to play and win specific prizes and to go all out in 3D. The whole thing all done, and it was amazing. So it was one of those things where that is technology that would redefine so much. But what's
Also,
it currently
hey
being
Theo,
used
it's
for?
been from the Slayers.
Just 2 people. And that's all that's going for. It's like, well, who else has access to this? No one else does, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Just those 2 who are paying for it.
I got a big.
So it definitely boils down to one of those things of, well, if they're doing that, they're not helping. They're not putting themselves out there for others to be inspired from or listen to. It's just, wow, I can do this. It's one of the other things that has just come out that really bothered me is the current songs that were out with Nikkei. Okay, what's Zentrea's big shtick? She talks with AI. Or not AI, she uses a TTS. Oh, that's not Zentrea singing then, that's the TTS singing.
Yeah, especially
been
she's
modified.
basically a Vocaloid at this point, yeah.
Yes, actually, yes, that's the best way of saying it. She's a Vocaloid. So it's kind of like, oh, she's going to sing. No. She doesn't sing. Unless that's her actual voice being put in there. That is an AI, or that is the pre-recorded voice of another woman who is using her voice for that TTS and being put into there.
Yeah.
That is not Zen. That is the free TTS she is using. It's kind of one of those things of, that is not the person who's singing. And it's like that bothers me to no end, because Zen is such a sweetheart. She's so fun, but it's like, you can't say that singing when it's not your voice. I mean, I guess if you're going to be a Vocaloid, okay, that's cool, but to me, it's a disconnect.
Yeah, I think
I know that's off
ultimately,
topic.
ultimately, I do think that the Bishoujo girls, like everything, and boys now apparently, they just
boy.
Yeah, a single boy, yeah, one singular boy. I just don't really care for
2 if you count Connor.
Yeah. It
I mean, do you
depends.
think they actually would get other males in? I guess potentially.
The thing is, it doesn't matter. Honestly, objectively, it doesn't matter
No.
because
Not really.
they had auditions. They had auditions. It didn't really matter at all. They can tell whatever they want about how Haruka totally passed through auditions. She didn't. We all know she didn't. We all know she didn't.
She applied for hers, and when Iron Mouse was called out for it, her response is, "Who else would you have wanted?" And the other person who I remember that was, they couldn't find an excuse. They couldn't say who else should have been applied. It was instead her constantly responding to them, going, "Who else should get the space? Who else should I have who should have been brought in?"
No,
Yeah,
it's just
it's a nepotism hire. She picked who she wanted to get in, and they got in.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically it. It's worthless. These auditions are worthless. The company itself, the company itself is not really important here, like at all. Yeah, sure. People praise what they did with the Nijisanji people, like Kuro and what's her face, the new person that was big.
Kuro, Nina, and
Michi?
no, Kuro, Maltara, and Michi.
Yeah, Michi. Like we praise, but like it's nothing really revolutionary or even that admirable. It's basically people, miserable people who are miserable. Hey, you want to sign a contract with us so we get more popular off of your misery, and we gotta fix your shit, maybe. Like that's.
It actually doesn't seem like it was like that. It was more so. So when we saw you got the short end of the stick, okay, but you're really popular. So how about you don't hang up your hat just yet? How about we help you out of your funk? We give you your new self, and you can do what you want with it. Kind of like Nazna with her stuff, where she jumped in after Hololive in the lowest part, and she did her stuff, and then lo and behold, how'd that turn out? Well, she got to keep her model, and she got to keep everything else that was a part of Bishojo. And when she shot that career choice in the face, she still had that choice to come back and use it on her own, which she did use it on her own, because she couldn't use it as Mike Neko and other such. So she had her choice to use it for what she needed it. To them, it's the same boat. Yes, okay, you are kind of screwed right now. Well, what can I do? What you do best. Here's a model we made for you. You can go ahead and go back to VTubing.
Yeah, the thing about what I don't
How's that
like,
going to solve things?
Yeah.
Good.
I think what the thing I don't really like about the whole situation is that you clearly see who's the member of the clique and who isn't. When it comes to former VTubers, like even Niji-sanji former VTubers, you got Quinn, who probably didn't really want to get back into any of this shenanigans. You got Mint, you got the Mint maid, you got Sayu, who was not invited to anything at all, right? And it's just like it just feels scummy to me. Like when it's just like, oh, I like you specifically, so I'm gonna help you, but you can suffer. That's just, I don't know, that's just not that does not align with my morals of how I approach things, right? I don't like that. Even if, like, sure, you cannot help everyone, but like you either help everyone or you don't help anyone. Because if you only help the convenient people who are conveniently convenient for you to help, right? That just means you're using people. You're not helping to help. You're just using people. That's what I think personally, at least.
No, that tracks. It really does, because that's how a lot of it looks on the outside. Is they started going for whoever they could go for, and it was just like, why? Because we know they're popular. Okay, but you're doing this, and now they're a part of this. Yep. Okay, what about this? Yep, same thing. We knew they were popular in their past life. We knew they were going to have a following when they come back to it. So let's get them all back together. And how did that turn out? Well, they're hugely popular still. Okay, gee, I wonder who could have saw this happening. And then, but yeah, there's a number of those you just mentioned, like Sayu. I feel sorry for her. She got crapped on by so many of, not even just old co-workers, but old and new people, all who just know what was going on from Niji's point of view, because they followed all of the stuff that was happening and were like, oh my god, they're such a horrible person. Oh, and it's like, I have no idea who they are, first of all. Second of all, with all of this stuff happening that's been going on, you weren't paying attention to the fact that Niji-sanji specifically chose to go after that one person as hard as they could because she fought back. And then the same happened with Selene. She immediately, hard as all hell, fought. And that irked so many of them off. And then, but that didn't matter to people because they saw her fighting out in the open. They saw what she did. No one ever really followed up with the fact that Sayu fought just as hard, if not more harder, than she did legally. And to everyone else, that kind of made it so that, oh, now they know how to go ahead and patch that hole that was made because of her. Well, you're right. But what happened to Doki? Selene. She ripped a whole new hole. Oh, crap, they're going to have to fix that. And they did. And you have all these current people who are in there. They all shit on everyone. They didn't have a leg to stand on because they knew that she got outed in what Selene had said and what Doki had written. It was right there in public sight. And they're like, oh, we can't say shit. We can't defend ourselves. We can't say we weren't a part of it. We can't do anything. It's like, you're right. Because she put that on you. So what that means is that straight up, You knew what you were doing was wrong. You got caught for it, and you didn't know how to backtrack. Sayu didn't have that choice. Sayu hid everything from public to keep it under wraps and fight for it. And then when she was freeing out, oh my god, he freaks out over there. When she was done with all of that, it ended up turning into, oh yeah, she just completely got ostracized from everything.
Yeah.
Well, how is that fair?
To this day, I feel like Sayu is being ignored by a large population of VTubers who just don't want to deal with her, anything to deal with her.
There's also that big part of why she said she couldn't get along with Vishojo is because there's the fucking clique inside there, and she doesn't get along with the people inside because it would upset someone we all clearly know who, because they were working together. And because she would upset her because she's inside the clique, she won't go to Vishojo. She can't be a part of any of their collective groups because Vishojo doesn't want to deal with her, because it would upset that one streamer in their clique, in their group.
Yeah.
And then what's the current thing with Kenji?
Yeah.
Going ahead and throwing shit around. It's like, dude, you're going to get slapped. And he did get slapped, which is good. He deserved it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff like that was going on. Where it's like, you can't just say stuff and expect not to get in trouble. That's not how it works.
I think this has to do with the syndrome I notice about a lot of content creators, especially big content creators, is that they're so high on the fact that everything they say is perceived as this something important and cool and awesome, and everyone wants to like listen to what they're saying, and everyone is like jumping onto their metaphorical dicks at every moment they say something. Like, I remember talking about this before when this, like, it was basically visualized with like someone posting, like either Zentreya posting something or like look at this, or something painfully average, and you scroll underneath like this post and you see, oh, you're so fantastic, this was revolutionary and amazing, like everyone is just sucking her dick effectively. I'm sorry, like, it's just like this same kind of attitude, I feel like, makes people really fucking high on that thing. So they start to believe themselves to be important and self-important enough to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say some shit and people will agree to me because I'm so cool and awesome, right? These opinions that they might have held back before they were popular and cool and awesome, the things that they might not have told, have the courage to tell, maybe some shitty opinions, maybe some shitty things they have to think about others, right? They think they're important enough, so it flies, right? But in the end, when it doesn't, when it blows up to their face, there's like, oh, wait, but I'm this big creator. Why am I not exempt from this? But yeah, you're not exempt from this, buddy.
There's a lot of that. I don't think people know how to come to terms with that either.
It's hard. It's hard to come to terms with the fact that you are like, I personally, I never think my words mean anything. Like, people will probably start telling me to comment on shit, right? It's like, we need your opinion on this situation. Why?
Yeah. Hey, are you gonna weigh in on this? Why?
Why do I need to?
This is what's happening with this conversation, or these group of VTubers. You're friends. You collab together. I have nothing to say or anything to do with that. They're on their own.
Yeah, like, why? Why do I have to do
this is
anything?
actually really important. They're fighting. Okay. Oh, they're upset and crying. You should go comfort them. Nah, I'm gonna do me. Thanks, though.
Yeah, like, it's just like
What do you expect me to do?
Yeah,
this is my job to content create.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
No, go ahead. You're right.
It's basically that thing where it's just like, I feel like that's the thing that is expected from a lot of like really big, quote unquote, big creators, is that you always have to be the voice of the people. Who the fuck tell you that? I don't have to be the voice of anyone. I'm the voice of myself. Theodore Aka, aka the Observer. I'm the voice of the dweeb on the internet that sits in his library and plays games. That's the only voice I am for anyone. I'm not a voice for anyone else. I would rather not be a voice for anyone else, honestly. I don't have any responsibility for anything my followers do. I don't think so. I like this. the image of responsibility for some reason that is assigned to content creators. Like, for example, by the same logic, if, for example, Zehnpie, suddenly you sat there making a video about Nijisanji reaction, and then you learn that one of your followers went out and stole, I don't know, a plushie from a 5-year-old, and then suddenly Twitter goes, Zehnpie is steering people to steal plushies from 5-year-olds. That's bullshit, right? That's just how it works.
That 5-year-old was actually my cousin.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
I did it. No.
Yeah, but I don't condone this. This isn't a part of what I say. Don't misconstrue what I say and what I do for your own thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that, and it's like, that's rather disturbing. And it has to be said, but at the same time, it's like, yes, content creators don't want to say it because they don't want to insult people, but sometimes your followers are that stupid. You have to make sure that you take all responsibility to say, that is not my responsibility. They're fans of yours. I don't care. I did not put my tattoo on them. I did not make them a part of my family. They are not any part of any responsibilities I have as an adult or as an individual. They are not associated with me. They are their own person.
Yeah.
They chose to do this. They will suffer the consequences of their actions. I am not here to help them. I'm not going to give them $20 if they decide to go ahead and give me all their money. That's yours. You want a refund? Too bad. You might get one. Otherwise, I can tell you to go ahead and pound sand and ban you. Oh, now you can't come back. Oh, well, too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a limit, and some people don't want to accept that.
Yeah. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like these are people, these are human beings. Like if I'm like, hey, don't do this, there's still people behind those screens that make the conscious decision to go and like send that hate. And if I put my foot down and say, don't do this, that's not my responsibility. And there's that weird sort of thing where like with most creators, with almost every creator, no matter how big or small you are, they feel like, oh, it's your responsibility for what your audience does. Even if that audience member isn't even like a big part of the community, they just like happen to be a casual watcher, that audience member will still be labeled onto you and be like, hey, because this person watched this video and because of that video they went and did this, even though in that video you said don't do this, people will still be like, oh, it's your fault, it's your responsibility. And it's like it's just the reality. It's like you can't control what people do 100%. You can advise them and say, hey, like don't do this, but you can't control everybody. That's just the way the internet works. It's like it's reality. I can't control what every single person does.
Exactly. There's the same thing as
No one
saying.
can.
There's the same thing as saying like, okay, you have this. Okay, let's just dark example. For example, there's like, you have this like murderer watching your channel, and you on the channel saying, oh, you know guys, murder is bad, and just like I don't think the guy murderer who sit here watch your channel as you say a murderer is bad, and just like, oh really, man, oh man, I didn't know that, thank you, I didn't know that, and he stops doing that. Like I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, like it's the thing. It's like I've done like some videos on like Niji Sunjins and their situations, and I say like, hey, like don't harass the livers, but there's antis that watch the video. Me saying not to do it is probably not going to change their opinion if they just are inherently antis who want to harass people. It's like what I say is not going to really change that said opinion.
Yeah, there's
no matter, it's like it's like a racist watches my video. I'm like, hey, don't be racist. It's not going to cure their racism. Like that's not how that works.
No, I don't imagine. It's like I just imagine in my brain when people say like you have the responsibility to engage people. It's like a racist person against a certain person just like sits there and watches. Did you know that racism is bad? It's like, oh man, racism is bad. Oh, man,
I never would have guessed. It's not like there's a history of that happening, or that being an actual thing.
I need to find a book in the library, How to Not Be Racist for Dummies. I need to find that. Is that in here?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like, no. Who was it? Penguin Zero, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
He had the same incident where apparently he had beef with someone else about a book or something that was going on with an article. And he was having this issue, and he was straight up telling his people, it's like, hey, don't go and do that. And someone in the chat was like, hey, Your fans are going over and harassing this person. How does that make you feel? Well, it makes me feel bad, but that's nothing I can control. I told them not to do it. They went and did it. That's their own thing. They do that because they're their own people. I take no responsibility from them. It sucks, but that's just who they are. I can't control that. It's impossible to. This isn't a dictator state. They can go ahead and watch what they want and do what they want. It's on them for the consequences. I don't have my name attached to them. They don't. If they're a part of my community, then okay, they're a part of my community. I don't hold them to it. If someone comes at me and says, "Hey, they're a bad person," cool, they're a bad person. What do you want me to do about it? Unless they're doing something bad in my community, I don't tend to remove people from my community. If they turn out to be a actual soul-sucking scumbag, yeah, they'll get kicked out because I don't need that in my community. But how am I supposed to know that? Oh, they're a pain in the ass in yours? Well, shit, maybe you did something to them. Maybe it's you. Maybe they just don't like you. Maybe that's your problem. How am I supposed to... Why should I enforce your stuff on my people? At the same time, don't enforce what these individuals do because they're busy being individuals. That's not anyone can control except themselves.
You know, I think this conversation has a really interesting themes of conformity and overall the themes of like those popular beliefs that everyone just sort of shares and expects everyone else to share, that you have this responsibility, but ultimately are so fucking redundant. It's so ineffective.
It doesn't really do anything.
Yeah,
I mean, like, the thing is like I've seen a lot of I've seen instances of this happening where it's like it's obviously advertised like, hey, you know, I'm an 18 plus streamer, I stream for an 18 plus audience, and they'll be like, but hey, there's an underage person watching your stream, so you need to change your content, and it's your fault that a 13-year-old is watching your streams. Like, no, I mean, blame the fucking parents. It's like, how is it my fault that a 13-year-old is watching the content that I did not intend for them to watch? It's not my fault. Like, that's the same thing as saying, like, oh, what, you're gonna blame porn because a 13-year-old goes and watches the porn? It's like, it's not their fault. It's your fault as a parent for letting that kid access that, or, you know, it's not their responsibility if there's the warnings and the labels they're saying, hey, this is an 18 plus space.
Yeah, it really is. It comes down to the responsibility of the parents, and they're like, we don't have responsibility, you know, that's on you. You should be responsible for the content you create. Ah, man, see, when I grew up, you should remember this, I had to deal with child locks, parental control on TV, on whatever anime I was late night watching. There was times where it would turn off because they had a time limit. Yeah, we learned how to get past that. There's all kinds of stuff that comes up there, and it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly. Parental control. That is there for a reason. And the whole thing with most of this is that they don't want to take that responsibility. They want to throw their kid in front of the computer, tablet, whatever, what have you, and be like, yes, this streamer looks cute and fuzzy. Let's go ahead and put them on. Oh, they're screaming curse words in Spanish. This one looks fun. Oh, she's German. Right. Okay. Oh, this one looks cute. She's a little cow. Oh, her boobs are out. Oh. It's like, yeah, they look like cartoon characters. They're not. Oh, well, you know, maybe it'll be fine. Oh, you're underage and you're watching. Hey, you can't be here. This is for 18 plus. Oh, well, you're on a site that only allows 13 plus. So what are you going to do about it? Oh, you can't ban me. But then it turns out to be, yes, I can. In fact, let's enforce that. Oh, yeah, that doesn't work like that. You can't ban me because I'm just watching. What are you going to do if you lose a follower? They're going to move on. That's really what they're going to do, is they're going to move on. It's not their responsibility to raise your child, and I don't think they understand that. A lot of people don't. Yeah. They put it on the actual content creator who's like, it's literally not my kid.
Yeah, the same.
Why do I have to censor myself?
Honestly, the same thing that happens on the creator side as well is that I was tagged once. This was a funny situation that happened. I was on Twitter as usual, and I was just like, I see a Twitter, and I see a post like I'm being tagged in a post, right? And I was like, okay, so what is this about? And I see a list of names with mine in it, and it's like, and hi. It says, this and this person is a piece of shit, and you're following them. I'm like, okay. What is this about? And I'm like, I basically responded, with calmly, and he's like, "Can you stop doing that bullshit, please? I'd like to not get involved in drama." To which they proceeded to get offended about it. Just like, "Oh, this is not drama. This is criminal. This is not criminal. You're not the one who decides what's criminal and what's not criminal. You're a fucking nitwit on the internet that spends hours of his time trying to research the fucking who follows the person you don't like, so you can tag them on Twitter and say tell them to not follow the person you don't like." I feel like we know who's the loser here. Don't involve me into drama. They obviously blocked me after that. Just like, "Oh, yikes." You know the usual Twitter lingo that occur. Like, "Oh, yikes, weirdo." Like, no, you're the weirdo. You're the weirdo here. You're the weirdo here.
Yep. Nope. I've seen a lot of that. There's all kinds of that goes on where it's like, guys, I don't care. You're following a not safe for work artist. Am I? Oh, yeah, I am. Cool. I'll probably commission them later.
Not my responsibility what
You
they
can't do that. You can't do that. They're not safe for work. What are your fans gonna think? Damn. Morgan likes not safe for work artists. We can find out his fetishes. Okay. Cool. I don't know what
he's
that
an adult,
yeah. I don't know what that gets you, but okay.
Yeah,
it's nice that you get to know that.
I guess it's nice. Yeah, I guess you get to see the good shit. You're probably gonna retweet it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but like, Morgan commissioned this. Yeah, and what? You're exposing your? No, not really. Like, I mean, the only way you would have known that if somehow you searched myself or you were in on my notifications, or you knew I commissioned it. But the other part is, yeah. So, I mean, what good does that do? Trying to shame me, bro? I commissioned it.
Yeah.
Do you think I have shame?
Yeah, like literally, yeah. I mean, or it's like, you like 18 plus art on Twitter. It's like, whoa, oh my god, you're so like, I thought you were my pure OG stream. And it's like, well, they're fucking adult, okay? Like, reality check. Hello? It's like, I think there's like that weird perception sometimes where it's like, especially I think towards like female VTubers, so it's like, oh, I want them to be my pure, beautiful Oshi queen, and they can never be unpure. My whole life Oshi can never have a boyfriend, never. They can never be painted by liking that sort of content ever. Liking a 18 plus image of a man, never. They have to stay pure and idol-like.
Well, that's a whole unicorn argument. That's a unicorn.
Yeah.
That's a whole unicorn. That's a whole another unicorn, so to speak. And I do
remember. I'm going in another realm.
Yeah, that's a whole other unicorn. I feel like it's still kind of connected, but yeah, I feel like these kinds of people that have expectations and like expectations of other content creators. This is a situation where you had an expectation that you imagined all by yourself. You thought all about yourself. You thought through all about yourself, and you got disappointed that it's not true because of like it being just thought of in your brain. Like, it's not reality. It's just something you thought in your brain. And that just spreads into a lot of things, I feel like, in terms of like perception of people of each other on the internet, because they have these personalities a lot of the time, and they are very upfront and egotistical and dumb. Frankly, they're just dumb enough to present themselves in this self-assured manner because they know there won't be punishment. There won't be any punishment for actually doing so. And it's kind of like I've personally seen the messages of like okay, so I'm on the server of two people called Yuki and Yuna. They're like twin VTubers on YouTube, and I've seen them like
I know them.
Yeah, and I've posted marshmallows. They posted marshmallows of this guy saying in extremely polite spiel saying how males taint the streams by being there. I'm like, okay, that's,
oh my god,
that's a thing that I don't really know why there's a thing. You're a guy, why do you hate yourself so much? Like, is that a thing? People just like hate each other. So
I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like being like, oh, hating other men. I think it's this sort of like ideology of thinking like, oh, that's my girlfriend, and like it's like that POV sort of thing where it's like you're imagining yourself as their boyfriend, or you want to imagine yourself like as the male in that situation. So I think that's why there's this inherent like, oh, any other man that appears, I hate them because I want that to be me, or sort of like they imagine themselves as that, I guess, in that sense. And I think that is why there's like this massive like, oh, anti other men with like my said like female Oshi, because there's that power socialism of like imagining, oh, that's my wife, that's my girlfriend, and I can't imagine them ever being even friends with another man because that's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be the only man they look at.
that's weird.
Kind of disconnected in the middle there for a little bit there when I stood up at my desk. But yeah, that's essentially what it comes down to. A lot of is there's a lot of the parasocials that can't understand sociabilities, or
Yeah.
being a normal freaking person and having a social relationship, or platonic. Oh my god, a platonic relationship, because they don't see that. They just see, oh no, it's a girl. Oh, she talks sex things to a guy. They're clearly fucking. That means I don't get a chance to do it. No, maybe that should be me. That has to be me one day. And it's like, no, that's just people being people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can be really weird with your friends. Some of my friends
exactly. That's
have been
that's
the weirdest people.
Yeah, the thing is, like, literally recently, I'm in a Helldivers group, just like a casually on a side, right? I like playing Helldivers 2 game with people. These people, actually, one comment showed up from that, just talking about it. Either I'm gonna read that comment in a second, because it's like, it's nice to see the insight from the viewers. But yeah, I just like was playing with the person, right? And and the awkward situation happened, which like he's like not natively English, so he's basically like, you come a pause into the game. There was just like a pause. I just decided to go with it. I just decided to be, instead of letting it go, so I was like, yeah, I will, believe me. Something like that. It was just like something really fucking dumb between two friends. That's like the dumb joke was like, I didn't know you were thinking about me like that. Like, we're just
God.
Yeah, you camp that up, and it's just like you be really weird. Or it's like when you're meeting your friends, like, man, I'm gonna punch you in the face softly with my lips.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you like that? Remind me to tongue punch you later, man. And it's just like, stop being fucking weird. And it's just like, in real life, you could not even the same guy, and it's just, yeah, this is me having fun to make him uncomfortable. Because we're friends. That's how that works.
Yeah,
or it's talking to someone else and be like, you'll find me jerking out your window tonight.
Yeah.
But why? Because you know about them having a stalker or them having a weird time and you're just making fun of it. They don't know that. They just know that you're being weird as shit. But it's to your friend. To them, that's not what they know. They just know, oh, these VTubers, these streamers know each other. Oh no!
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like,
yeah. I feel
there's platonic and parasocial,
yeah, exactly.
and people can't tell a difference between the two.
It's like, have people ever had friends before? It's like, have they ever been in a friend group before? I guess not.
No, they're watching VTubers.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, honestly though, like the whole thing where people are like, oh my god, they're fucking, is so weird to me in the context of VTubers, because it's literally like, oh, okay, yeah, so you think most likely the person who's living in like completely different countries, like the three of us are playing from completely different places in the world. Oh yeah, I'm collaborating with this said person. I'm fucking them. They live in like
Zehnpie, you don't
American
understand.
island Australia.
You don't understand. We're e-dating. We're totally e-dating.
Also, it's e-dating in that context. Yeah,
we're totally e-dating. Because we collab with each other. We're totally e-dating here. Absolutely. We're So-
I've seen people though, like but it's even worse because like I was like a face cam creator, like with making VTubing content. There's this reactor because I'm in like that VTubing reactor sphere, and she's like the only girl that does it, and so I did a collab with her, and I saw comments being like, "Oh, he probably went to her house after and fucked her." And also the worst thing is that she was 17 at the time of when we recorded the video. She's 17 now, and it's like it makes it even worse. But there were like a bunch of comments like that just because we just like did a video together, and that's just how like weird some of these like whole live. Well, obviously not all whole life fans, of course, but it's sort of like how weird some of these like VTubing fans really can be, and that's also like the worst thing about the sense of this girl, my friend, who's she's a face cam person, she's underage, and these whole life fans simp for her and say these really sexual things to her when it's clear and she says she's underage, which is just like the worst thing to me. And it just shows like how much like some of these VTuber fans, even to a real life person, can be that way and can overstep boundaries like so much. And just because it's like quote unquote in the VTuber sphere, I feel like sometimes their sense of just like morality just goes out the window for some reason.
I don't think it's purely in VTuber sphere. The thing is, the
Yeah, that's a
cringy,
feeling to VTubing.
the
Yeah.
cringy shipping happens across the entire internet for some reason. I don't really know why. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like I genuinely don't care what other people's
Yeah,
relationships
no.
are. But some people are really fucking obsessed with how other people's relationships are. Like to this day, I do, and that's also sort of fuels into my early Bishoujo topic, right? Once you look at it from a fresh perspective, you'll understand that even within the clique, that is the big clique of supposed friends, quote unquote, they're basically just kind of like sitting in their own corners. Iron Mouse continues to just farm clips with Connor because they do well, and this is like because of the
Yeah.
rampant shippers. Like Silverveil wasn't included into literally anything, so just had to leave. Nyaners is doing test stuff with Aethel because. Or they're an actual fucking pair, so good
Yeah,
good on
they're
them.
actually dating though, so
Yeah,
yeah.
they're actually a pair, so good on them. At least they kind of got. They probably became a pair because of influence of that shippers, and she's like, they kind of get to know each other. That's probably what happened at this point, right? So I guess something positive came out of that. But anyway, and it's just like, what is the really friendship, right? What do we constitute as
Yeah.
friendship among all of that? I'm kind of inclined more to believe Silver Whale when she says, "Are you even friends when you talk like once a month, once like 6 months?" I don't think so. That's my perception. I don't think you are friends at this point. You're being excluded actively out of conversations. I don't. I do not think I have many friends. I have a lot of acquaintances, right? Don't have many friends because friends
Right,
are
yeah.
those people I talk to constantly. I can interact with constantly. I maybe not like every day, like every day I wake up at 6 a.m. and say, "Oh, hello, friend. You are such a friend," that they respond, "Yes, friend," and we just go about our days. That's not how it works.
Or I just imagine like oh, Zehnpie hasn't messaged me in a day, unfriend him now, bye-bye.
Yeah, exactly. That's not how it works.
I have VTubers and VTuber friends that I hadn't talked to 8 months, dropped off the face of the planet. Don't know what happened. They just stopped talking, ghosted. Shit. They dead? They alive? They getting fucked? I don't know. They exist? Hopefully they're alive. Well, one of them reached out and was like, "Yo, holy shit, you're okay." Yeah, turns out I had to leave this account, joined another one, became indie, left. Then what? I actually studied in medical college. And you became a VTuber again? Yeah, I got bored. Hi. My name's Morgan. I don't know if we met, but it's been a crazy 8 months, it sounds like, not just for me, but for you. And
Yeah.
the whole thing boiled down to, some people just ghost and come back, but there are some where it's like, they have that parasocial kind of feel where it's like, hey, we haven't talked in 36 hours. You haven't said hi, you haven't shown me art, you haven't done anything, and I don't even know if we are friends because we haven't talked in a while. 2 weeks later, we still have not talked. It has been a good long while. Are you okay? I see you chatting in the Discord, and you're on stream, but you're ignoring me. Are you okay? Did I do something wrong? And it's like, I had that same mentality with some people. So I know how it feels when that happens. And then, yeah, there are times where you just have to suck up, go, right, they don't want to have anything to do with me. Unfriend, move on. Hey, what'd you unfriend me for? We haven't talked in months. You ignored my stuff. Well, that doesn't mean you have to unfriend me. To me it does. So bye. So yeah, there are some people who very much require that constant interaction. But then again, if they get to that point where they know full well, okay, there's nothing here. No relationship, no friendship, there's just them. Well, I don't want to have any part of that. I really don't. Because a lot of people realize that, okay, I guess there was no friendship, there was no nothing relationship. What do you do past that point? Like you said, you kind of realize and get to a point where it's, oh, all right.
Yeah, I
Move
don't.
on.
Yeah, there's definitely in my opinion, definitely should be a middle point, middle ground between like having having a situation where you like talk to people constantly, and like having a situation where you don't talk to a person like at all. Like obviously, if don't, I don't. I'm in a sphere. VTubers are a sphere of people that don't really reach out to each other. Or at least I don't really know people who reach out to me all that much. Like I know like one maybe person who reached out to me once before, but otherwise I don't really know people who reach out. I'm the one who reaches out all the time, and it's just how it is. And it becomes tiresome in some places, right? Obviously, it becomes tiresome. But then on the other hand, I do realize that fucking people are introverted as fuck. So people like don't know if they're gonna be a bother or not. But then but then other type of people are genuinely just don't really care to talk to me. Like I reached out to them myself and they just don't respond, or they're not being too busy, or just like I'm like, how do I gauge distance in this fucking sphere where people are not even willing to take a fucking 5 minutes out of their day to reply to a DM? It's not that hard. It's just not that hard. But on the other hand, I don't really know if this is like, how do I say it? If they're just legitimately are so swamped with shit that it's just like really hard to keep track of things, right? And they legitimately care, but it's hard to maintain concentration on stuff. Like I don't really know how to gauge a lot of these stuff, because even though I'm a big adept at psychology and whatnot, I'm not really sure how to read people in this fucking sphere. It's hard. It's definitely hard. Like some people are not talkative at all. Other people can talk. Some people like sometimes they're talkative, sometimes they're not. Several people I don't talk to at all, and I still don't really understand how they like view things and think about things, right? And it's just like, okay, this is just complicated. Not happening. Should work now. There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There we go. We're back live. We're back to life.
I still got my portal open.
Yeah, but your portal never left. Your portal never left. We live. We're alive. We're alive. Somewhat. That was
Damn it, you
interesting.
didn't give me enough time to loot your corpse. I guess it wasn't a corpse, but loot your lifeless body.
Yeah. Sorry. My instincts took over, and I immediately restarted the PC because I think it hard froze and everything. There's like that was weird.
Damn.
Yeah,
And
and then
to steal his lab coat and his glasses.
no, it's my glasses. I cannot steal them, unfortunately.
You got to deal with those nice solar flares.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I need some glasses. I'm just getting blinded by chat in my face constantly.
Yeah.
What did this person chat say? I know a bit behind, but I feel like the current state,
Yeah.
YouTube/TikTok/Twitch is horrible. There are very few ways to actually get famous and has resorted to people deframing themselves
Faming.
in order to get. Why would you do it then? I'm doing your job for you. I'm reading your chat. In order to get clicks, or when some people become famous, it seems to be overnight and can drastically change your life. With your old view being 10 to 20 people to now, you got thousands of people watching you. I honestly do not have a lot of ideas of how to fix it, but something needs to be done about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of a weird situation. Which, like, on one hand, it's fame. It's fame. It's always been like that. Fame has always been like that. It's like even movie stars. What happens with movie stars? You get one role, 2 roles, 3 roles, 4 roles, right? And it's just like, okay, so cool. I'm nobody. I'm a nobody actor, right? But then suddenly, fucking suddenly, the nobody actor becomes like everyone's beloved like face of the century, and it's like, what when was that a transitional period happening?
You give me back the Happy Meal.
Yeah, I gave you back the Happy Meal. I don't know why it disappeared for a second, but like, when was that transitional period between the
Yeah, I
moment
mean,
of like
if you took away the Happy Meal, we would leave. I would leave if you took away the Happy Meal. I'd rather die. I would break the window and die if I didn't have my Happy Meal.
No, you have your Happy Meal, don't worry. But yeah, like, it's just like, where's the transitional period between one state and the other? It's almost like, okay, so I am not popular, right? But then suddenly I wake up tomorrow and it's just like, oh, who are you people? Why?
Well, that's happened. I've done collabs and that's happened. They're like, we loved your energy. We love chatting with you. Great. By the way, that's not an often thing when we collab together. It was kind of a one-off thing. I'm not that same person where I am the gremlin shoving a bazooka up someone's ass and launching it. I am very down to earth, very chill. We're just here to have a good time. And it's like, huh. So you're not a little shit gremlin? No. Bye. And it's like, oh. It's like, there are times where it's like, yeah, I do act like that depending on the game. But then there's other times where it's like, no, I just have a nice, chill, fun time. But it's like, how did I get an influx? Oh, it's because of this collab you were with. And they're like, oh, great, you're going to play together. No. Oh, it was a one-off? Yeah, it was a one-off. Oh, when are you going to play next? I don't know. Whenever they have free time. They never have free time, apparently. It's like, I'm sorry, but kind of is the name of the game of try and be the best VTuber you can be based on the time you have with the person, I guess. I don't know. It just seems like out of nowhere. Oh, you were friends with someone? Not anymore. You did that cool collab? Well, they blew up. What happened to you? I'm still doing my stuff. Well, clearly you're not cool enough to be up there with them. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like, I have talked with people like, you need to do this and this and that, otherwise you will not get as popular, and this and this and this and that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'd rather grow on my own pace and do my own things rather than actually do the popular thing, which sure gonna like bring the results, but it's not gonna get me the long form audience that I'd like. Honestly, like, it's not gonna sure, like what happened to several like big streamers that happened with, like with Fortnite? They jumped off Fortnite. Guess what? They're not popular anymore.
But dude, how are you supposed to be as cool as Ninja if you don't actually try? You'll never be able to take his place if you don't try.
Yeah, they jumped off Fortnite. They're not popular anymore. Like, just they do stuff what they like, but they're not popular anymore, right? And it's just like,
Right.
what do I do to avoid that? I play games that I like. I enjoy things that I enjoy. I do things that I like doing. And people who will enjoy seeing me do this kind of stuff, they are the type of people who I would consider my long form audience that will be sticking with me, right? Rather than just like, oh, you played Fork Knife with Boobali. Will you play Fork Knife with Boobali next time? Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. That these people will leave, and it will be just like an empty spot in metrics. There's just like they're just there. Most of them won't even unsubscribe most of the time because they're too lazy to even click a fucking button.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's one of those things when you have those people where it's like they don't know how to not branch outside their circle, or they have to be the connecting matter that goes between one and the other. So they're like, oh yeah, my OC should get together. You should go ahead and collab with her because you're my favorite OC, and yeah, it'd be great to have my besties get together and play a game. Turns out they actually hate each other because one is an absolute biatch, and the other one has difficulties getting along with things. And it's like, oh, what do you do? What can you do? And it's just like there's nothing that can be done. They're that type of person. We don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you're my OC, so you should get along. You know, it's like, dude, they're their own people. People sometimes don't get along clearly, as we've seen, with cliques existing and kicking people out and making sure that they get fucking gated. Yeah, cliques exist. They are not there for a reason. They're not good. And people don't like people. So your OC may not like your other OC because they hate each other because they have like ideas, or they're very much alike each other. And that means that they're competition to each other. They don't like each other because they're competition to each other. So you might want to rethink that friendship idea between content creators.
Yeah.
I think that also like applies to like companies. Like it's like, oh, you're in a gen together automatically means you're best friends and you must love each other, right? You're in the same company, so obviously you're the bestest of friends of everyone in the company. You know all your gen mates, you know all your senpais, and I have an Oshi, so you must love that person and be bestest friends with them as well. It's like I don't think that's how it works realistically. Like in your workplace at school, are you friends with literally every single classmate you have? Maybe you're like friendly with them. Maybe if you were put in a group together, you would be able to do a group project together, fine. But outside of class, you don't talk to each other, and that's just like the reality of things. Like in your workplace, in your office, are you friends with all your coworkers? No, it's like it's just realistically not how that works. But I feel like with like viewers, they think that way. They think, oh, you're in a gen together, you're automatically the best of friends, and you don't have like somebody you're friends with more than the others.
I think the reason is a lot of perception of like the gen mates need to be friends came from the fact that a lot of recent generations in Hololive and stuff, and like honestly the big companies, the small companies don't really do that. The big companies do. Is that they try to emulate this feeling of getting them all together with each other, and just like they've probably spent several months together playing games, just facilitating some connection between people so they can build a rapport. But they don't realize that it's most likely it's just surface level stuff that goes basically to surface levels. Like they can interact with each other probably. They probably even like each other, right? Are they friends? Depends entirely. Like if they clicked, they clicked and managed to become friends, they're probably friends. If they didn't, they're just acquaintances. Yeah.
Or they're if not acquaintances, we're coworkers. We're professional where it counts, and we hate each other whenever we're not working together. But for the sake of management not getting down our throat, so the sheer fact that I'm not going to lose a portion of what could be a large amount of money because of you being a fucking asshole to me, because I hate everything you are. Within every breath you take, you should be apologizing to the earth for every fucking life you aren't saving with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have a NOS meeting over here for the energy drink. You want to? Yeah. All right. All right. You know your lines? Yeah. All right. Let's get this done. Just so that I don't have to spend any more time with you. And that's how some of them are. It's you're together long enough to go ahead and make sure, hey, buy this energy drink. All right, cool. That's a great job. Cool. Fuck off. Hey, yeah. Want us to do the El Gato thing over here. Oh, another thing with you. Fine. All right. That's fine. Well, we have good chemistry, even though we hate each other. Shut up. You know, it's like you work together because it's a means to an end to more money. For some people, that's like, no. But it's true, and more often than not, that's what happens. Your professional career is leagues ahead of your personal.
Yep.
You may hate someone, but you're more than enough to... Well, what was the best way of saying it? I used to have a saying for this. Just because you have my courtesy, does not mean that you have earned my respect.
Yeah, that's basically appropriate.
So,
that's very appropriate,
yeah.
honestly.
So I can be polite, courteous, friendly, and involved with you. That does not mean I like you or respect you. I just have the courtesy granted to you until you abuse it, and then it is gone. And when it is gone, it is gone.
Yeah, of course. I feel like
And I think
that's the thing here is that a lot of people. I'm very cautious to a lot of people, but the moment you try to drag me into shit, I'm just gonna say like I'm not gonna even get involved in here, right? I'm very neutral in terms of like everything. I don't even hate people, like genuinely I don't. Some people like got into beef with me before, like it's just like it's long history. When you are like around around 2 years already, almost 2 years, even if you're around this much, you're probably gonna get people who don't like you, who you didn't get along with, who you had history with. I don't hate anyone personally. I think it's a waste of time to try to hate people, but I think a lot of people don't share that kind of view. But I have, and it's just like, at least if you hate me, right, make sure you are professional enough so we can maintain a certain
decorum.
Decor. So it's just like, and that's sort of decor that a lot of VTubers don't really understand, and they try to farm that lack of it.
they treat it like, they treat it like high school. I think that's what everyone keeps comparing it to. They treat it like the second coming of high school. And it's like, what are you doing pretending like this is high school? This is not. You should not be thinking that this is something you do. Most VTubers, believe it or not, people, is when they say this, they are not in their lower 20s. A lot of them are not in their mid-20s. They are in their 30s. They are in their lower and upper 30s. They have been on the planet long enough to know how courtesy should work.
Mm-hmm.
They have been around or part of jobs, unless they are really that spoiled that they have not had to work a day in their life, and they can go ahead and be a VTuber or a streamer constantly because they've had whatever means of paying for it. But the fact is, there's a lot of people who have the knowledge and the sociability to know, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't tweet this. Not everyone needs to know what I'm saying. Some people are afflicted with the main character syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 8th grade Shinyobu system.
Mm-hmm.
That's the syndrome
Yeah.
that goes on. And people realize how fucking cringy they are that the world does not revolve around them. They just haven't been slapped enough to know that it doesn't. But the big difference is, you know how you should conduct yourself in public.
Yeah.
You don't go out and harass people. You don't do that. Well, why would you do it to other VTubers and streamers who are just out to do the same? You end up getting, honestly, ostracized. And the horrible thing about VTubing that I've seen a lot do is when that happens, what they do is they go ahead and wash their hands of their model and be like, oh, well, he's retiring. Oh, no, he's graduating. And they go ahead and be the kid who transferred to another school Okay, well, this is my new look and this is my new character. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Everyone will not notice that I'm currently this person and not this other person. We are nothing alike. We're not related in any way. The issues I have had or I caused stay with that character. They don't transfer to the new one. It's like that's not how this works.
Ah,
It's
yes.
really not.
Yes. I just murdered a guy, but don't worry, guys.
Oh.
I put on a different cap. I did put on a different cap than I was when I stabbed the guy.
You're a changed man now.
Yeah, I'm a changed man now. I
Yeah.
instead of the cap that says baseball is the best, my cap is now saying football is the best. See, that's I'm a changed man. I'm absolved of all my past crimes now because I changed.
And no. He was wearing a baseball cap. Now he's wearing a Texas cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's a different
Oh.
person entirely.
Yeah,
Yes,
entirely.
yes,
I'm an
yes.
entirely different person now. Like that stabbing, it's all in the past now.
Yeah.
I came over. I got over it.
Exactly. You went on hiatus for like 2 weeks. You went and saw a therapist for a day or two. You know, he gave you the sign off. You're perfectly mentally well. You shouldn't need to be there. You're all good. You're wearing a different hat and all. You're a completely different person.
Yeah, you got your ukulele out. You played the little song.
Yeah, you did your
singing
little dance.
It's fine. Yeah, you did your interpretive apology 3D dance after playing on the ukulele. It's fine. Obviously I have to forgive you now because it was a enjoyable song.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that's
will-
just what goes on.
It
It's
will
showbiz.
Immediately soothe the stabbing wound I have left here. The fact that I put
Yeah.
the
Oh,
dance song.
There's so many people who do this, and it's like, guys, you can't be that dumb, right? And then it literally puts me in awe that so many sheer adults treat this like it's, I don't want to say a game.
No, game would be more seriously treated at this point.
Yeah, I just don't know what they would call it. It's like high school. It's a mix of junior high. I don't know what to call it because of how they treat it. Even adults, like even the shoujo, even all this other shit that goes on. It is just like, you don't do that. But here they are, burning bridges left and right. And it's like, I could never imagine doing that in any workspace.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't get it. I don't get how grown ass people on Twitter decided to, like, after the Nux Taku situation, like what caused them to flip their shit up like so rapidly? Like, I don't really get it.
I don't even know.
Well, that was like
The next-
Nux Taku situation with Vishoja.
Yeah, I think I saw a video
Well-
on that. Yeah.
They everyone like fucking drop balls left and right and got theirs kicked up to their throats. And the bigger party, Shoujo, was the one who was put in right just because they were the bigger person. But they weren't always in the right of what they were doing. They tried to do something and keep it in the dark. And instead of telling Nux to stop, they ignored it. Oh, there's that knife. Give it back. They ignored it. And it got to the point where he was intervening and stuff because he didn't know that Bishojo was doing something. When they should have told him, hey, we're handling it, back off.
Hmm.
That probably would have been enough. I think even he said that. If they had said something, he would have backed
Yeah.
off. But they didn't. So he figured they weren't doing shit. So he chose to impose himself on it. And it turned out badly for him. He was definitely the one who got the short end of the stick. But that doesn't negate the fact that, yes, he is a terrible person. It's just, he got the short end of that stick. And of course, the dick writers for Shoujo came out en masse to go ahead and write as hard as they could, because that's what they do. It didn't change anything that had happened. It literally was just, okay, so that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Okay.
in this situation, Nux was definitely the least horrible person because he tried to warn people about something
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is
no,
not considered
he
everyone.
is just a shit person in general. Like, him in general is a shit person. But what he was trying to do there was what he thought, and what usually is the right thing, was he was trying to do his own means to justice the way he knew how. He should have left it to the professionals based on what was happening. However, he didn't know what was happening and what wasn't, because they didn't tell him, hey, We have it handled. Shut the fuck up. Don't mention it. Don't hint at
the
it.
thing is, even like,
Drop it.
I do remember the fact that he approached Vishojo separately in a
Yep.
Discord call, and it's like Discord, hey guys, I'm making a video.
Yep.
Here's the video. Please tell me if I can do it or not. And I was like,
That was at the end.
yeah.
That was at the end when he had everyone sign off on it. And that was because apparently the people who were like Two Hammer or whatever their name was or something like that signed off on it saying it was okay. But I guess someone higher up than him or someone beside him was like, no, you can't have that out. We're still in the middle of this. And it became, okay, him saying it's okay to do this turned out not okay because it wasn't supposed to be him that gave the okay. It was supposed to be the other guy. So Nux got slapped because the message didn't get across to the right person who he should have given it to. And it was like, the hell are you people doing?
Yeah.
That is the fuck?
Why is this supposedly organized corporation, quote unquote, does not know what the left right is doing when the right
Yeah,
hand
and
is doing something?
That was the big part. And I think it really did show that, yeah, Bishojo does not have all of its ducks in a row. Or there's different parts of the company that are not talking to the other parts as much as they should. Or there's no...
And there's a lot of backstabbers in there.
There is, but it's like there are clearly people who are not communicating what needs to be communicated for whatever reason.
I think.
I mean, are they better now? Because wasn't that a while ago? Like, are they doing better now?
Yes.
Vishojo's doing better, definitely.
But
I mean,
there's a
like,
reason. There's a reason why it suddenly grew.
Okay, you go first.
Sorry. There's a reason why it suddenly grew. It's because the three left, clearly, who had issues with how things were being done. So now you have more people who know how it's running that can go easier to the flow.
Yeah,
So that's...
But honestly, I kind of remember the three when they left, they were kind of like vilified. Like, I remember sort of seeing like people being like they're like the bad guys for leaving, or like they were sort of seen as, oh, like they're the bad ones. And I mean that could have just been like the Vishojo fan base, but I remember when I saw them sort of leave, it was sort of like seen as like the villains, sort of like, oh, they're the toxic ones and they're getting out, and now Vishojo is unified and they're like purified now. I mean, the thing is like, as like what you were saying before, as like, oh, like, because from my perspective, I am literally like that 20, like in early 20s, looking at older people, because I'm literally 20, so I'm like literally the youngest that you could possibly be in your 20s, and I'm looking at all these people. All my VTuber friends are older than me, and like I see all these VTubers, and they're like I view 30-year-olds as a lot more mature than me, but then they don't act that way, and it's like kind of crazy to me that like all of these like grown adults that sort of, in a sense, as a younger person, I'm sort of like inherently wired to sort of look up to a certain extent, they aren't as like mature as I would think they are. And one of the things I see, it's really like petty shit that I would see how my like 20-year-old, like 18-year-old friends would act like over like petty teenager stuff.
Exactly.
And it's just crazy to me.
Yeah. That's what we mean. That's what I was saying is
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Observer and I. We're about the same age.
Yep.
We're probably, I want to say mid-30s.
Yep.
So we're in our 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the bigger VTubers are also, and they are abhorrently immature.
They're childish as fuck.
And yeah, and they will talk down to anyone being like, I'm better than you, clearly, because I have a following and I'm so much more liked than you. Clearly there's something they like about me, and your old ass doesn't get it. And it's like, yeah, but here's the thing. You make a lot more money than me, but I can go outside and take a breath of fresh air. I can walk away from my computer and not have to deal with drama. Because if it follows me into my life, I can literally go to my work and be like, it's internet stuff where they're making stuff up about me. I don't know, and I want no part of it. I'm ignoring it. Okay? And go on from there. It's one of those things where they don't know how to disconnect themselves from the internet, and they're so entrapped by what is happening. They only know of how they've been in it from how young they've been. So it's they've joined at such a young age, essentially, when it was all coming about. They've not known anything else.
Yeah.
For a lot of these people, it's how they get along with everyone so much is because they treat them all the same. They treat them all like they're in their lower 20s, early teens, like they're all the same age, even though they're older. It's, we're alike, you and I. We're fun. We're friends. Oh, don't mind the fact that I'm 35. It's fine. You know, I'm 32. It's cool. Oh, I'm 29. I can hang out with you 19-year-olds. It's awesome. Don't worry about me.
Because from my perspective, that is like an interesting thing. Because like from my perspective, I would think, oh, if you're in your 30s, you would have like stuff more going on in your lives, or you would like you'd have more sort of going on. Because like from my perspective, like I sort of started content creation because I thought, oh, I'm younger now, and because I'm younger, I have more free time to be able to put into content creations. Like when you sort of say that, like for me, I'm sort of like I'm wired to look at people your age for guidance. Like in my school, and my teacher's younger than you guys, and it's like in that sense, like I am automatically wired in a sense to like view, like, you know, to me it's like, oh, when you're in your 30s, you like have your stuff together. Like I'm wired to think that way, how I would envision myself. Oh, am I supposed to sort of know what I'm doing when I'm like 35, or should I like sort of be stable at that age? And so like when I sort of like see those sort of people like, oh, I don't have my shit together, or I act younger, it's sort of baffling to me in that sense, because it's just my sense of ideology is that people that age, I will like ask for guidance for those people that are that age, because I sort of just automatically feel like, oh, well, they're in their 30s, they should be like mature, or they should be more mature than me, and there's people I should look up to.
I think recently
seek
about
guidance
the
from.
maturity aspect. I think recently I watched a happenstance with Camilla, where she was basically like, I'm kind of realizing that a lot of the earlier stuff when I became a VTuber, I didn't know how it works. She wrote about it. It was just like, I have no idea.
Ah, that thing.
Yeah, and just like I have no fucking clue how that works. So, and someone told me from a big VTuber told me that apparently you need to farm drama in order to remain relevant. So like I started farming drama, and now I realize how stupid and immature that was, and how stupid and harmful that was. So I apologize. That was one of the most mature apologies I've ever seen in my fucking life on Twitter. Honestly, that was one of the most mature things one could have ever said. Like I was thinking this, and I was like fucking wrong, right? Because obviously farming drama is not the way to go. Like it is a way
Not
to
gonna
go
lie.
in terms of like short term, right? But it's like it's not long term at all.
Yeah, no. Not gonna lie, that was probably one of the only times I've actually seen a content creator apologize. Or one of the VTubers such as her apologize for anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read that entire thing and it's just like, oh, so you're admitting your scop. Cool. Oh, you are literally a horrible person. That's great. I'm gonna apologize. But yeah, that's good of you to apologize now, what, 3 or 4 years after the fact. But that still doesn't negate the fact that you're a horrible fucking person to have done that in the first place because you felt
definitely.
Everyone hates on them for this. I should hate on them too.
Yeah, definitely. There was a
everyone...
sense of, but I do appreciate at least in this industry of people who are unchanging pieces of shit, who thinks they're not pieces of shit. Someone in their mind actually admitted to themselves that they were being a piece of shit. I do appreciate that. That is a big path towards a certain sort of change. And I do realize a lot of the people who are on Twitter, they don't want people to change. They want people to eat. They want easy people to hate. That's the distinction. They don't want people to change and develop as people. They don't want people to change and like try to amend their mistakes. They want easy people to hate. They want them to be NPCs. Yeah, that's the distinction. They want easy people to hate. They want the villain to slay. They want like a villain with a HB bar to slay, not the person, not the living, breathing person who would like look at it as go, wait, I am a piece of shit. Maybe I should do something about it.
Yeah, they don't expect a morality change. They don't expect someone to be like, damn, maybe I am the baddie. Nah, it's the kids who are wrong. Only for everyone to literally look at them and go, no, dude, you're legitimately a piece of shit for this. Because the only reason she apologized in that, from what she had said, was because other people she had talked to and knew more were telling her, oh, I really like them. They're fun. They're nice. And it's like, the fuck do you do when your own friends are telling you, yeah, that person you're saying you hate and to sick your community on actually turned out to be a really fucking decent person who is just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You're not a good person. You're not the bigger person in the conversation. You're not the bigger person in life. You're the scumbag asshole who's sitting over there going, man, I am so much better than this person because of this.
Yeah,
I
effectively.
don't remember the part where I asked.
Yeah.
I don't remember giving a shit, but your following did. And in fact, you not agreeing with this person, you drawing attention to them and shitting on them, just told them that they can go ahead and shit on that person. Well, that's their problem. That's not anything of yours because you don't like them. So that means that they're free game. Oh, no, that's not what I meant at all. Well, that's exactly what you meant because you wrote it the way you said it the way you did. And it's like, anyone who is anyone, anyone who knows of importance, anyone who has been important, who has had a younger sibling, who has been the person in charge, who has been a manager, who has been a boss, who has been someone in charge of another person, even in a team building exercise, the fucking idiot beside you, whether he's an idiot or not, he's your follower.
I'm the idiot.
He's your teammate. He's designed and functioning as an extension of yourself. If you fuck up, he fucks up. That's how it goes. So in that instance, when you're sitting here bragging, man, my community is so much better than theirs, fuck that guy. Okay. Well, no, I didn't mean that. Well, there's a reason why you see a lot of celebrities and stuff don't talk shit about any other person. They don't say anything unless there's really bad issues, and they make it very clear that I don't work with that person because they're a piece of shit. Okay, cool. They're a great person to me, but maybe you hate them? Well, I hate them too because you hate them. Okay, fine, fuck it. But that's exactly what it is. The streamers, they don't see that. They still are so immature that they don't see that option. To them, it is still the same thing. I can say this shit because I'm talking to my friends in Discord. You very rarely will find streamers who are very meticulous and careful with what they're saying because they don't want to allude to that. They don't want to accidentally get their fan base to rile up or to think I'm engaging you in into this conversation and things. They don't want that.
It is sad in the sense that the outlier is like somebody taking accountability, because the reality is most of these creators, they care more about the views, their public image, more than actually the morality of doing the right thing. And that's like the reality. It's like the whole car game like Dove thing. Like that entire situation of like Kage literally lying publicly, saying he had nothing to do with the group chat, and then it getting like him basically getting caught in 4K because he thought that I guess basically if the group chat never got found, then he doesn't need to take accountability for it, and he can lie because there's no proof out there, which is just like sort of shows the true colors of how people really are. And the sad reality is there's probably a lot of creators out there who are like that, like a lot of bad people out there who do genuinely care more about their career than they care about doing the right thing. I mean, because the thing is like if he truly cared, he would have apologized 2 years ago, because it's crazy how all these situations, they're always years later. Because if you truly cared, wouldn't it be like, oh fuck, you know, instant regret sort of moment, and then you apologize when it happened? But no, like you pushed it back to the back of your mind for years later. So like, how can we really believe you're sorry if you did this thing for like years ago, and you had this in your conscious in the back of your mind for years on years and years, and then you only apologize once you got called out? How the fuck can we believe you're truly sorry? It's like you're only sorry because now you're getting publicly called out, and you're apologizing because of your public image, and to save your public image to retain your audience.
Yeah, effectively. And
Yeah, they got caught.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why they're sorry.
yeah,
They got caught.
Yeah.
They got caught. That's basically it. And that's a lot of really interesting stuff. That's why I allude to the fact that I'm really appreciate the fact that that she realized what she is,
Yeah.
because that is the best best way for any person to change is to confront what they truly are. As long as they give excuses to themselves, as long as they continue like doing the moral high ground, whatever the hell it may be, they will never change.
Yeah.
They will never change who they
Yeah.
are. They will never change what they are. They will never change how they are behaving. But as long as you accept the fact that in this particular situation, in this particular instance, you were a piece of shit, you can do something about it. That's the most important part, I think. Even as a psychologist, I can admit to myself that these moments are the moments where a person truly changes. Is when it's just like, oh wait, I'm a piece of shit.
It's I've had that same thing. It's taking that accountability and realizing, oh, not I am the baddie,
Yeah.
but I am a bad person. I'm not the bad guy. I am a bad person. Everything I've been saying and doing is just the worst. I'm not the villain. I'm not the enemy. I am that guy. I'm the mob character you shit on and beat on because he's a scumbag, openly impossible. I am the bad person. I'm the bully in the show. I'm the one who gets shoved into the locker and beat on because I was the nerd. I was the horrible person. Wow. It's that realization. That level of confronting itself to yourself and going, oh. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of depressing, and it's hard to do. It's hard to accept this fact. It's hard to be accepting of the fact that you are a piece of shit. But like in some places, it's easier to just make excuses and not confront it. It's easier to just like say, "Oh, I'm not a piece of shit." It's just they were yada yada yada. Oh, I'm not like this is yada yada yada. It's easier to not to and also easier to not admit that you fucked up. It's also easier to not admit that you maybe not really truly believe in what you're saying here.
I think it's that's sort of when having a big audience can become toxic, because I feel like it almost becomes like when all of these people, and you have thousands and thousands of people sort of constantly telling you that you're always right and you can't do wrong, and you almost feel powerful in the sense of, oh, I have all of these followers and I get all of this traction no matter what I say. So I think it almost does give a person a sense of power, or a sense of almost ego, in the sense of, oh, well, even though I've done all these terrible things because of this massive audience I've built, I can't do no wrong, and I'm not going to get called out for it, or it's going to get drowned out by all of my fans and my followers, so I don't need to take accountability, or almost because they've been fed so much validation from all of these fans and the community, to the point where maybe they truly believe that they aren't in the wrong. And I think that's sort of when having a massive audience can almost become a toxic thing, and it can kind of create a person to be even a worse kind of person.
Yeah, for sure. That's that's basically how it is. Yeah. Honestly, this has been an interesting conversation, I think.
Yeah, it has been. It's very enlightening. It does show quite a lot of things ongoing. It does also tell me, as a content creator, as an older person, that I need to pay more attention to a lot of the people who do jump in my stream, because a lot of people may not be streamers themselves. Some of them may be, but it's more so that being a positive influence is more important than being super content, awesome, friendly, crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing good influences more often than not.
Yeah.
Which really sucks, because some people are just really good people. They just don't act like it.
Yeah.
Or they have this mentality that
Yeah.
doesn't show who they truly are.
I don't think I am. I wouldn't call myself like an amazing person, because like I have a very high standard of myself in terms of like who I am and what I want to be. I wouldn't call myself an amazing content creator either, but I think I have the saving grace is that I have standards.
That's another thing to have that I don't think a lot of younger people just
We're finally in that stage where we go to like, oh, these younger people.
It's
Yeah,
well, no,
me.
it's Zehnpie. You would probably understand. best of all of us talking here is having standards. Not just like, okay, this is what content is. It's, well, they do this, but I need to hold them up to here or higher as a person. And then watching the, I started out watching a good number of VTubers the same. Some started when I did my own start of the VTubing. And then I was always wondering how they grew. Well, they knew how to network inside of communities. I didn't. I started out the gate fresh as a VTuber, off of years of streaming as a normal person. Well, it's kind of funny, as streaming as a face streamer, I had 15 to 20 viewers at a time. As a VTuber, I get like 5 to 7, 5 to 8. So there's a complete shift. But people have suddenly jumped back and forth, and I had to hold them to a higher standard of, damn, they came out right away and they have that many followers. I'll watch and see what I did wrong. Well, they're sitting there moaning, groaning, and being kind of, quasi-erotic and being trap bait and other stuff that's like, okay, I got my follow. When are we going to get to the game? When are we going to be doing stuff? And it's a just chatting stream for the next 4 hours. It's like, you said play games. Okay, well, I just burned 4 hours listening to you talk about conversations. And then it boils down to things where it's like, okay, no, I'm not just going to follow you because you have a cool looking model. Now it's up to, you have a cool looking model. Cool, that puts you at the bottom tier. Bottom tier, your model. What about the rest of you? How's your chat look? How's your attitude? How do you act? And it kind of grows up. It goes up higher. It's like, oh, wow, I never thought I would have standards for my entertainment. But it's starting to show and starting to be a thing where you have to have some form of standards. Because it just is an issue. And I don't know if, Zehnpie, you have had the same issue, or if you've come to terms or noticed that, or if it's happened to you where you've done the same thing.
I think that my mentality as like a younger person, it's sort of having the stat in the sense of feeling like I have to catch up to other people, like feeling like, oh, all of these other people are older than me, and so they have so much more experience than I have, so that makes me feel like I have to have a certain standard in order to catch up to those people that I feel like are so more advanced than I am, and that sort of made me sort of honestly like press hard on the gas pedal because I always feel like I'm falling behind and I can never catch up to people who are older than me. And I think that's how I have a certain like high standard for myself in, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to be faster at accelerating my like rate in being successful because I feel like I have to constantly catch up these people who are older than me.
Yeah, it's just funny because a lot of the time, when it comes to VTubing space, right, especially, when you want to catch up to people who are older than you, they most likely do not have the high standard you have. They are complacent. I watched, like, again, Vishojo, I played Henya, right? And I watched that thing happen where she was basically just eating cereal and watching a video uninterrupted. No comments, nothing. She was just eating cereal and showing someone else's video, and that is accepted somehow.
Yeah.
And that gets like 10,000 views. Those are not standards of content. This is a complacency. This is simple and actual complacency.
I know I'll get donations. I know I will get money. I know I'm getting paid regardless of what goes on, so I'm free to do what I want.
Yeah.
And a lot do that. That's why Zen has a lot of my respect. Because Zen is the one who will sit there and talk for fucking hours on end. But she's also the one who has an entirely 3D rigged stream where she's the 2D, but everything is so intricately done that it's always a show. Everything is unique. You will never have two streams alike. There is never a silent stream where she's not there and not doing anything. There are a number of VTubers who I believe I can see your point. They have become very complacent with their fans and doing what they do at, I don't want to say it's such a basic level, but it really is. It's the new base. They have their standards, and then they have their complacent standards. They don't try to push the envelope. They don't try to do anything more than what they do because they know this is where I stand with what I do. So it's okay. I don't have to try harder. I know for a fact people are going to watch this for this. I don't have to go ahead and try to do more. People are just what Zehnpie multiply.
I realized I could. Wait, I just realized I could do that way. I realized I can actually multiply myself.
Oh wow, there's 2 of you. Wow, what is this?
Oh,
What is
God.
this?
I didn't realize I
Spreading.
could do that. I didn't realize I could split. I could split them apart.
Interesting.
There's actually 2 of me. It's actually separate. Oh wow.
That's interesting.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. We had such deep and thoughtful conversations, and by split into
he has to divide the thought process between the two of them.
yeah.
But it does come to that level of where you start to see the complacency. And I find that disappointing for a lot of these streamers because they could be more. They could be pushing themselves harder. And I think that's what's disappointing is when I look at a corporate streamer, the corporate streamer is going out of their way to do everything they can to stay relevant.
Yeah.
They're going out of their way to do everything they can do in order to obviously stay within popularity, to do something new, to capture attention.
Yeah.
And I see these other popular indie VTubers who, yes, they have their following. Yes, they are important. But they do nothing. They get to that zenith, the highest point they can, and they do nothing to move from that point. They don't try to go higher. They don't try to do anything to slow down or slide. They stay there. And they hope with the damnedest they can that nothing tips the balance. And then here comes the problem. Like, Zehnpie, you're saying that you wanted to rush, that you had to catch up, that there's something you have to do to keep up with them. Well, that's all you have to do, is you have to be creative. You have to upset the balance. It doesn't take much. You just have to do something enough to make it go one way or the other for them. Because they will either realize, we have to keep up with this upstart, or we have to find something new to fully overcome him and hold my position higher and not have an issue.
Yeah.
And many don't want to do that. They don't know how to do that because you have new creators, or old creators really, who are pushing the very boundary of what they do because they don't know what else to do. Because it's, okay, so I want to do a 3D VRC stream. Okay, cool. Everyone else has done that. How am I going to make mine different? How are you going to make yours different? I don't know. Well, that sounds like a you problem. Go ahead and start thinking. Oh, well, I'm going to do this. That's already been done. Better, faster, awesome 5 years ago. I can do the same thing now. It's just as cool. No, that's old technology. It's stupid. I'm going to go ahead and make a game. You're too late for that, bitch. Some other VTubers got together and made Monopoly. Oh, I'm going to make a keychain. Everyone's got keychains. I'm going to make a 3D model. There's bitches out there who are making their own 3D models. What makes you so different? I'm going to make a sex toy. Bro, already done. Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah, like
I'm going to make a TV show.
That has been around since like 2016.
Yeah, it's like it's already been done, bro.
Yeah, Melody has been around.
I didn't want to say Melody outright, but yeah, fucking Melody is literally queen of all this stuff going on. Where it's like, shit, good luck keeping up. Well, what does she do? It's like literally, she is a wholesome cinnamon roll, and I would 10 out of 10 give her a hug just because she's adorable. And she is okay. And not safe for work pool. Safe for work pool does both amazingly well. She also leads technology because she has a full, not just a casual mocap suit. She has an expensive mocap suit that works fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she does. And it's like,
I feel like
that is what you're trying to compare to.
I feel like
next to Code Miko.
Yeah, I feel like it's an amazing part about Melody as a content creator is that you look at her, she's like all smiles and sunshine, and she's all like she's all like, it's just like all smiles and sunshine and all wholesome. And suddenly she looks at chat and says, "So I broke my pussy."
Yep, there was that. Or the fact that I'm pretty sure she would be the type of person to stab someone just oh hi, walk away.
Yeah, like legitimately, like the stuff she says occasionally is just like, she demonstrates an art. I exercise the extent of my hubris. That's what she says. It's like, hey.
She's amazing with what she could do, but she's one of those characters. She's one of the content creators, the characters that stands at the point where she is an inspiration because she does both sides very well. And she tries to not let one side bleed into the other. Whereas the not safe for work, the safe work, she does her very best to keep them separate. And not only do I respect that, but I find that to be actually, no, I just really respect that.
I mean, it's hard to do.
It's encouraging.
Like, obviously,
It is.
it bleeds over in jokes and little jokes and nods and references and
But
explanations.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You're not like most of those other streamers who are literally doing softcore porn on their Twitch and thinking, okay, this is fine. No. Take that to the right site. Well, I don't have the same following there. That sounds like a you problem.
Exactly.
That's your skill issue. Take it to where it belongs, where it should be.
Which is funny.
Over there.
Which is funny because that's probably the biggest skill issue there is to be had in this particular region. It's not.
It is.
Oh,
We are very unkind to it, which very much sucks. But it's also one of those things of there are people who clearly know that what they're doing is wrong or what they're doing is pushing the line. And they are still trying to do it because they know they have no following. The only following they have is based around what games or stuff they are playing. That's what's so disturbing about how things are and why the stringent rules on some sites are I like. But it still comes down to, okay, this sounds like your skill issue, not mine, not theirs, yours. You have to find to do something better and no idea how to be better. So what do? They compare themselves to the current streamers that are ongoing and they talk down to them and they have to insult them in some way to get that drama. They have to get attention to themselves because they have no other means of selling themselves as important.
No.
So they sell themselves as the dramas of being like, yes, okay, so now that I'm doing this, yeah. Oh, I hate that person. They're such scumbags. Oh, wow, I didn't know you feel that way. Fuck you. Oh, well, next thing you know, there's thousands more subscribers. Do you really know that person? No, I don't know that person. I'm not a fan of their work. I don't watch them. I don't know them. Why would I care? Oh, so you were just content farming? Duh. How else do you think I stay relevant? And it's stuff like that where it's like being that example that I see is disturbing because I see so many people who sit there and think that this is how it should be. That, oh yeah, you got to stay relevant. You got to farm content. Well, I have been in the shoes as someone who has been online for years and years just doing content. No, you can't just make content and it works. You actually have to be an engaging and interesting person.
Yeah.
Which surprises me with how many streamers who don't leave their fucking house are actually have shit to talk about after so long. Especially if you don't fucking leave your house. You live with family, so the family has food that you buy, or you order stuff online, and you just truly are a hikikomori. Never leave your house or your parents' house. And it's like,
sounds like my future.
well, hopefully not, because it's a very sad future that really leaves me going, how do you function? How are you going to function when you are no longer a content creator? How's that going to work? Hopefully you've been smart enough to do your taxes.
I got the clone me to go out while I stay inside.
To be fair, in a lot of countries, taxes are not a problem.
US or other country?
No, like other countries, like in Russia, for example, where I live, how you do your
Oh.
taxes. How you do your taxes is you go to a site, you click a button, you're done.
Oh, shit. No, ours are not like that. Depending on who you are, ours are not complicated. They are tedious.
No,
Because
I
if you have
understand.
if you have the oh, go ahead.
I talked to some people to talk about like the U.S. taxes, and they explained to me how it works. Is actually you just have to like keep track of things, and it's tedious and stuff like that. Or you have a tracker, you have a person who are responsible for deciphering the fucking taxes the situation. In our country, it's very simple. We have a site that are overarching over all the government payments based around the books you keep, like your government ID and stuff like that, right? And you have
Right.
that, and you just go on that site. You have exactly how much you owe, in exactly how much detail, like down to the penny, and you just pay that, and you're done.
Damn. your, your taxes are way easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's
Ugh.
like that. Yeah, like and then you're done, and nobody bothers you about it, and nobody gives a shit. Like the thing is, we don't like okay. It must be a bit of a culture shock. I don't know what insurance I have. I don't give a shit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't
Makes sense.
give a shit. My healthcare is free here. I don't give a shit what insurance I have.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot of the stuff like I see from like the Western situations doesn't exactly apply here. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I remember when I was in the internet, what the fuck does that mean? Why do you guys put so much effort on insurance? Like, I don't really know what insurance I have. I don't even have insurance, I'm pretty sure. Like,
that would be amazing to do.
Yeah.
That would be honestly amazing.
yeah, it's just like I don't really have that kind of stuff. Why is that so relevant? And I started to learn about like the world outside of my country. Probably why I like internet a lot, because like you can learn about stuff about outside of the country, even if you do meet a bunch of people who are like pieces of shit, right? But at least you learn a lot of stuff around everywhere else that is not you.
Yeah,
where
you
live.
quickly learn. Sure. Yeah, you kind of come into terms with the Swedish and go, all right. Meet a lot of the weird African people who are just like, damn, could you guys be any more chill? Meet a lot of the Japanese guys where it's like, you guys need to take like a fucking break.
Oh yeah,
Please.
yeah, please,
And then you meet
please,
Americans.
guys, take a break, please. But I must work.
Where it's like, do you guys ever sleep? No, that's what the coffee's for. I told the Japanese guy to take a break. Can you take a break? Bro, you're talking to my after shadow. I took a nap like 3 hours back. You just drank like 6 cups of coffee. Yeah, don't worry about it. I will coffee's use into existence.
Oh my god.
How? Content creation. Shit happens.
Yeah, take a break, please, man.
Canadians are just like, y'all are weird. But we're not any better, so yeah. And it's just like, good fucking God, it's so nice to learn that, okay, we're fucked up here, but how bad is it over there? It's like you're standing on your tiptoes to look over at your neighbor's fence, and you're like, whoa, all right, he's got a big yard. That's way bigger than mine. Man,
Their barbecue's on fire.
the hell is that dog doing?
Your barbecue's on fire.
Oh.
What the fuck does that dog do? Oh no! Oh god!
Oh, go back down. I'll take a look at the other side. Damn, that's a green lawn. Oh, that's. Why is that pool on the ground?
Why is it? That's
Okay,
not water, is it?
I'll check the back lawn. Oh wow, this guy's lawn is just Is that a pit?
Yeah. It's just like a
It's like-
single fucking shovel stuck into the ground beside the pit, and you don't
Fuck
know
is
where it went.
I didn't see shit. And that's exactly what it's like looking
Yeah.
around the world and be like,
Yeah.
okay, so I thought my country was bad, or I thought I knew people who were bad, and they're just like, we are all equally fucked up in our own ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you're just very weird about it. Like, there's a lot. I literally talk to artists all over the world,
Uh-huh.
and VTubers and streamers from all over the world. And yeah, people are very, very weird. A lot of people I know are like, yeah, no, I go on an internet free binge where I turn off everything internet wise and I don't touch it. I update when I have to, only when I have to for my Patreon, and then I do nothing else. It's super therapeutic. Like, that sounds amazing. I haven't had to do that in years since I went on camping trips. And it's like, that sounds so nice. And then I hear other people who are streamers who are like, I can't put my phone down for like 30 minutes. I have to stay constantly connected. I have to be online. I have to be putting out an update. And it's like, how do you function doing that?
I kind of
Like-
forget to work on Twitter, like myself. I forget to just post on Twitter. I do watch
Yep.
videos, I do watch like other stuff, I talk to people, but I just forget to post stuff occasionally. That's just how I am. Like I'm a big boomer mentality on that front. I just don't give a shit about social media, like at all.
I spend too much time on Twitter not doing anything, and then I don't spend enough time promoting myself. But at the same time, I love doing collabs. I love working together with people and talking with people. It's fun to me. It's also one of those times where people are like, I don't know if our content will mesh.
You don't
Go watch the fucking
maybe,
VOD?
Maybe try.
Yeah.
Try. Watch and
Go-
try.
try?
Try.
Go watch the VOD. Oh my god. Yeah, there's so many people like that. I have literally had to tell people because they will message me. I had a number of that. And it is okay, so do you do collabs? With who? Well, I want to know if you do a collab with me because I'm trying to do this. Give me a sec. And then I will watch. I will find you. And I will watch your stuff. I'll find whatever streams, whatever VODs you have, and I will watch and I will find the type of person you are. There has been at times where I've had to tell people, no, we would not be a good match. I do not want to collaborate. Because some of them have like 0 following. Oh, it's not that you're a small content creator. It's that you aren't a content creator. You made a channel. You've not streamed. You've not had anything recorded. When I ask you about it, it's I'm working on it. So do you have a model?
The eternal,
No.
the eternal curse of pre-debut VTuber.
And it's like, okay, so if we stream, what are we gonna do? Well, I don't know. I figure you would plan it. Okay, so it took you some balls to come in and ask me for a collab, but to tell me I want you to plan it out and do it, I'm just here for the ride. Why did you want to collab that? Oh, you seem like a cool guy. My dude, we are not friends. You're the stranger asking to take a bite of my apple. What? we are not friends here. So why are you like this? But then there are some people where it's like full content creators where I'm just like, bro, what? You are like a 10, like full 10. I'm here at a 3. The fuck are you doing approaching me? I'm the step. There's no purpose for this conversation except, yeah, you seem like a cool person. Is that a compliment? I don't know how to accept compliments here. I'm lost. Sure, fuck it, why not? Let's collab. And most of those have turned out to be fun because it's been like, yeah, I've collaborated with a lot of other people again. But it has been one of those times where like I will go out, watch their stuff, and that's why I start conversations with people of what can I say? What can't I say? What should I know? Because sometimes they're like, hey, I'm gonna bring you in and collab with my 2 friends. I have no idea who your 2 friends are. What are their names? Cool. Find them. Go watch them. Oh, they're awesome. Oh, they're fun. Awesome. Cool. Holy shit, that was a red flag. God damn, that's a red flag. And it's very, very out in the open for, okay, now I know who I'm working with or who I'm soon to be working with. It's a much easier time than just, oh, yes. Instead of being blindsided with, I'm going to stand over here and be quiet.
That happens. Evening Monk, by the way. Is like we're doing like some rambling stuff here. Honestly, that kind of thing, it's the building blocks of the whole of your identity, I think, in a lot of ways. How you react to this stuff. It's just you have to like when you look at bigger creators, right? You have to also look at how they respond to smaller creators, inviting them over to do stuff, right? And how the some people decide to salvage it, like Tahata 101, who basically built his entire brand on having this program that invites small to semi-big to semi-big creators, but then he got tired of it too.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just like yeah, I personally don't really look at numbers myself, but ultimately it's kind of funny in a funny way. It goes that a lot of the people who don't have the numbers, like 80% of the people who don't have the numbers, often also do not have the personality. And I'm like,
There's that too.
what do I say to that? Like, how do I like make sure I distinguish the two of those like situations? Like, is it I'm going for numbers? I'm not going for numbers. I'm going for personality. But often people who have personality have numbers. And it's like, what do I do with that situation? Do I just like say, okay, I'm just going for numbers then? But no, I'm not going for numbers. There are some people, really cool people without the numbers that I'm going for as well. But like, most people who have good personality have numbers. I'm like, okay, so dilemma.
It really is, and that's what surprises me, is because I'm like, okay, that's a good point, because it is one of those things of, okay, are you asking me because I have numbers? But then I realized that, yeah, my numbers on Twitch are like non-existent. My numbers on YouTube are actually pretty good. But that's also because that's how I function. That's how I was working. But when people are like, yeah, we want to go ahead and hang out, it's like, am I really that interesting of a person? I don't see it. I see myself as the blobfish of the world.
Yeah, it's a conundrum. It's a definitely conundrum. I've never looked at the size when it comes to interview. If they've got something interesting, I'll reach out and go for it there. From there, yeah, that's a good mentality to have, honestly.
It is.
But yeah,
especially for an interview.
Yeah, interviews are. Mildra is a person who basically resides within the realm of almost VTubing at this point. He's been around here for like 10 years, I think. He does a lot of the TTRPG content.
Life.
He does a lot of TTRPG content. Basically, he interviews TTRPG creators. He interviews TTRPG like directors of studios and stuff like that. Like tests out systems. 10 years come September. Yeah. He does a lot of that stuff, that kind of really cool stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, I recently participated in his one-shot where he literally got the creator of the TTRPG to guest GM his own campaign, his own system on the channel, and I was a player there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of the stuff he does, which is cool. A lot of respect for that kind of work. Check him out. Definitely check him out.
Will do. That's actually pretty cool. And that's exactly it. It's, well, am I here to interview you, or you interview me, or am I here to go ahead and, take a look at your numbers, see how things function? But I just like, if you're a cool person, I will most definitely probably look into collaborating with you. But if you're an unknown anomaly, and I can't tell who you are, or get a beat on you, I want nothing to do with you. Because I can't tell if you've actually established a personality, or if you are literally just a blank slate looking for something to suck off.
No,
it's like,
yeah. I created this show, I think, because I wanted to make a space where I can, as already mentioned, push into my stronger points. My stronger points is being like that. I'm here in my presence. I'm asking the right questions. I'm talking about the right things, and that facilitates an interesting conversation between like the three of us, with Zehnpie vibing in the background, double Zehnpie vibing in the background.
Just need some SFX of him just multiplying in the background there.
Yeah. And it's just like I feel like that's a good point. That's a good way to make connections. And also I found there's people who really wanted to try something like that, because people applied to me to this thing that I didn't even talk to before. I'm like, okay, these people I don't really know personally, but they still applied. And that's something I find to be interesting. And I already have a cast for potential like 4 weeks of the show ahead.
Whoa. Damn, I'm happy to be on the first one then.
Yeah.
I can only see you go farther up.
Yeah, like
But do those people have clones?
I'm not sure. You will probably be the
Yeah,
only
see,
one who
that's-
have the clones. You're the unique one,
So
Zehnpie. I appreciate
then I'm
you.
memorable.
Yeah, you're memorable. There will always, there will never be a Zehnpie. There will never be another one with spatial anomalies around him. Here, I think.
There will never again be someone so
It
unique.
matches me being a Zoomer, so
Kind of does, yeah. But yeah, that's just like what it is. Next week I'm gonna spoil a little bit, but next week I'm gonna have a Latina person, and we're gonna talk like exchanges of Spanish community, VTuber community, and English
it's like,
VTuber
what,
community.
Iron Mouse?
No, not Iron Mouse. What's
Okay.
the difference between like those two communities and how they generally operate, and what's the different like cliches and stuff? I'm gonna like ask a lot of questions about that. Then week after that, I'm probably I'm gonna have Mildra, and we're gonna talk more TTRPG stuff. Then week after that, just someone else. I'm hoping it will continue on. I'm hoping I can maintain this place and be a good bastion to where people can like return to occasionally. Be like, oh, by the way, I've been here to like season 1, episode 1, or something like that. It'd be kind of cool.
That would be. I think if you keep going on it, you can obviously improve on the stream. You can make things different and better. Yeah, my you can't see my pretty green eyes.
You won't have a black weird void in the background.
Yeah, you're fine. You're just tripping balls.
Yeah.
But the difference is that I think you could very well, because you're not looking for the big people who have their name out there, who are the Takanashi Kiara of the world, who have their own site, who have their own place to do things. You're finding the people who are smaller, who are content creators of the smaller sphere, who are just like, hey, I want my story to be known, or I want to be seen in some way.
Sure.
And it's like, this is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
It's nice, and it's comfortable.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't say like, oh, fuck off, you're too big for me. Like if someone like applied to me who like applied to the channel who was like big numbers, right? I wouldn't say no to that at all. Like I don't think any.
Yeah.
Obviously they want to be chat. They want to chat. They want to interact. So, but I wouldn't really be like. In the words of a certain graphic designer, the greatest innovations were done by people with no idea what they're doing. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's just like I don't know. I kind of want this place to be a place where people, want to vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe relax a bit, talk about things they wouldn't be able to talk normally, like today's conversation entirely. I don't think normally we just focus on this kind of stuff a lot, normally, because it's considered controversial opinions, I think, in a lot of ways, what we say, which, fair, right? Controversial, whatever. I don't care, personally, but it is considered controversial, what we're saying, like the Bishoujo stuff, the general VTuber stuff, the content creator stuff, everything that goes against the grain is considered usually controversial, which is the word for it, I'd say. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But we have our opinions, we have what we believe is true. And I feel like that seed of rationale that is lacking a lot of the times in conversations between people, because they are heated and emotional, and they just don't really make good arguments, because they're most likely arguing with their hearts and not their brains, and their hearts often tell them stupid shit.
That makes sense, and yeah, that's true. Where you find a lot of people who do that, and I can definitely understand both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes an issue when people do that. I already got the. Sorry, I just read Mildra's thing as it popped up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people find out that if anyone talks bad about their Oshi, their favorite streamer, they would do something like that, where it would be like, oh, you can't say that. Well, why not? Oh, because they have a bigger following than you. They can do this. No, they don't care. That's why they're a bigger streamer. Is they don't care. They don't have to. There's nothing that we say would change anything that's going on that they haven't already heard, or been told, or accepted of it. It's okay. Yeah. Who is this? Oh, Who? Fucking what? Bother me when there's someone else. You know, it's like they don't care. And for a lot of people, they don't realize that, yes, it's freedom to say what you want because, yeah, you can actually be like, okay, so this is my opinion, as it all is. If I'm wrong, fuck, I'm wrong, smite me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it'll show itself soon enough. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be a mystery forever. But it's still one of those things where it's like being able to say, oh yeah, this was some weird stuff going on. And looking from the outside in, you're right. We don't get to see what's going on inside.
Mhm.
The people who do, they don't really want to talk about it because they know for a fact that if they do, it's social suicide. They're in trouble. But for other people, it's straight up like, so you know something secret and you're not talking about it. It's like, no, it's because I respect and value and blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Others, it's very much, no, I don't know enough, so I won't say on it. Oh, but this is my opinion is, this was going on, and it feels weird that it turned to this. Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. That is weird. Yeah, so you might want to sit there and you might want to think more on what's happening because there's a lot going on you don't know about, and I don't know about, but we can't talk about it because of legal. Of course. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, like now, we can talk all the day long until our nuts turn blue about what was going on with companies. But here's a cool thing. It's called an NDA. Most people don't break those because of legal consequences. So it does kind of fall onto people like, okay, we can't talk about that, but we can assume about that until it comes to the point of we literally don't know enough and we will never know enough. So what does that mean? Move on.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good.
And you move on.
It's a good thought exercise to try to understand what is happening. But unless someone specifically says to you specifically that this is how it is, this is what happened, and this yada yada yada, you're not going to know if this is how it happened.
You're not Sherlock Holmes. You're not a magical anime detective. You're not Tensai. It's just sometimes it's straight up, guys. We literally cannot talk about it because of legal. They have my balls in a vice over there. I can see them. I cannot talk about this. We're done. We have to move forward with it.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, shit. If that's all there is to it, then let's move forward.
Sure.
You know, and for people, once they realize that there's nothing more to be said, they won't go back and drag it up. They'll use it as a point of reference, but they won't drag it back up because they know they can't. There's nothing involved. There's nothing for them behind it. So they're like, okay, it's understandable. That's currently ongoing with bunches of other arguments and things going on that I see left and right. Like the most current thing ongoing is the Niji Sanji mixing alcohol with soda.
Oh, yeah. I think
that's
it was an energy drink, not soda. I think it was an energy drink, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like,
it was.
and it's kind of like who started it? It doesn't matter. People got hurt.
I
Yeah,
don't know
Yeah.
if people did, because like I heard people saying that, but I didn't see like actual proof of it. And I got comments saying like Japanese people like, no, they didn't, so I don't really know. There was like saying teenagers got hurt.
Obviously,
they tried
teenagers got
it.
hurt. Obviously, teenagers got hurt. If they tried it, they got hurt. That's not an argument to be had. Like if they had tried something like mixing alcohol and energy drinks in amounts that are equivalent to teenager stuff, decided to do a cocktail, they obviously got hurt. Like that's not that's not an argument. That's not a thing that needs proof.
Well, it's also a thing of a lot of these guys, they don't hold their alcohol well. They don't know how to gauge how to hold their alcohol well. The only way I gauged how to hold my alcohol well is because I went on a family outing and they're like, hey, here's a mixed drink. It's filled with like 6 different alcohols. It tastes fruity and sweet and delicious and awesome. I sucked down 2 of them. They're like, holy how? I'm like, I don't know. I finally feel a buzz. The first one barely felt a buzz. I feel a bigger buzz now. They're like, that should have put you down. Like, I'm a big guy. I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, no, we know you're a big guy, but that's a lot of alcohol. I don't know what's a lot of alcohol. I don't drink much. And they're like, oh, wait, you don't drink much? So this is your natural tolerance? I'm like, I guess so. I don't feel bad. I'm just sitting here chugging this giant drink. I feel a slight buzz. Or I actually feel a buzz, not a slight buzz. But they're like, That's so much booze. I didn't know my limit. So now I know I can chug 2 of those gigantic alcohol cocktails. Awesome. What does that get me? Nothing. I don't drink. But a lot of these younger people who are like, oh yeah, I'm going to drink this and drink this because they said it tastes great.
Yeah.
Do you know how much of a heavyweight, lightweight, a weight you are? Are you
No.
certain that one beer is not going to knock you on your ass? Are you sure you're
Honestly,
okay?
I haven't drunk anything. I've had like a sip of wine and then like a sip of Jack Daniels with Coke.
I am
so
I'm
never-
Russian. Believe me, I drank a lot.
See, yeah, I'm American, and it's just like, I've woken up and had screwdrivers before, you know? It's just one of those things. So if you know what can I do? Plunk.
I
Oh,
guess
God,
the
that's
point
great.
of argument that I saw people saying is like, oh, is Nietzsche liable if it's teenagers when it was like the warnings were there? Because obviously it's being advertised to adults and it's something to be like advertised to adults to try who should be old enough to do it in moderation.
Well, first
See,
of
now
all,
you get into a slippery slope
Yeah.
on that one because it's who's responsible? Is it the person watching the content or the person talking about it? Because I'm not responsible for anyone who watches this and gets the idea of punching me in the nuts because they can.
yeah, exactly.
It's just like I'm not responsible
Exactly.
for anyone else who's just like, hey, I don't like you using the F word. Oh shit. Don't curse. Oh fuck. It's like, don't say that.
Yeah.
For you to
I
make
mean, but
those
then it
rules. Well, my
definitely
kid doesn't.
Seems like but it definitely seems like a complete overlook by management to be like, because they're literally like, management recommends this combination, and I feel like in that sense,
Yeah.
it inherently would be the management's fault if they didn't fact check or look at, hey, is this safe? And it's like, I don't even know how even like this combination happened. Like, why the management even like mixing alcohol with the drink anyway? Like in the office, like mixing them together. I don't even know how they even came about in the first place to like
Because-
even be advertised in the advertisement.
Probably overworked.
Because management, I'll say, because management's drinking at work and they're fucking getting. The only way they could, feel good or do something is drinking at work. And what did they do? Is they combined an alcohol with an energy drink because that's what they do because they're adults and they do that. Because have you seen the next thing that Americans have been doing too in the memes and shit? It's called Gronk. It's Monster mixed with Guinness. It's a really cool brown to green texture. And yes, people are drinking it. So, mixing energy drinks and alcohol is not new. It's something everyone adult-wise does, or college age does. It's common. However, the other thing that goes on with that is knowing your limit. It is proportions. You are not one-to-oneing this thing inside of a pitcher and drinking it because you know it's probably going to kill you. You are not just going ahead and being like, all right, we're going to go ahead and do this and this and this. All right, 2-to-1. No. Like, there are limits. Common sense limits.
No.
Clearly, teenagers don't have that because they don't drink.
Yeah.
So not only do they not know their alcoholic limit, they don't know their common sense of, I should not mix this because they should not be drinking. Because they don't drink. Which is the bigger issue, is that they are just going like, oh, management recommended this. Well, the management was telling the streamers, who are adults, what they prefer. The streamers then set it themselves in front of their majority child base of fans. That was on them for saying it, but they are not liable for saying it because that comes down to the parents or the teenagers themselves for doing it.
Yeah.
They should have known the difference, they should have known their limits, and they should have known to actually check with someone before doing it. Instead, they chose to buy both and then go guzzle it down, and look at that, they're on their ass. What happened? Oh, he's sick, he's got alcohol poisoning. Who could have known?
Who could have known? Who could have known? I think it's kind of like a double-edged thing. Is that on the one hand, it is definitely management's fault for pushing something that can be potentially harmful. On the other hand, it's dumbest teenager times. Dumbest teenager times would have occurred anyway. It's just dumbest teenager times was dangerous this time because of management neglect and oversight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it was the degrees of damage of dumbass teenage dumb bullshit, right? If it was just simple energy drinks, it would have been like negligible dumbass teenager levels, right? But considering the fact that
Right.
they raised the bar considerably by introducing alcohol to it, and then basically doing the oversight of saying like, oh, we like mixing these two, which is you don't do that. You don't know if you want to be healthy, especially not the big quantities, right? They introduced the
yeah.
level
Well-
of dumbass teenager bullshit that is like beyond whatever could be happening.
Yeah. Well, it was just like I mentioned. I woke up and had a screwdriver one day. Well,
Yeah.
how many people know what a screwdriver is? Well, not very many do. Because, well, a lot of people here do because they have one. Because it's a literal a cup of orange juice with a shot. Now, what I just said there, a shot of vodka,
Yeah.
nothing more.
I thought you meant
It
like
is-
an actual screwdriver, the tool.
See? But no, it is a shot. It is a very small shot inside a cup, at least 8 to 12 ounces of alcohol, and it's mixed up. It adds to the flavor, and it does pull up on a fucking breathalyzer, mind you. So don't fucking think about doing it without doing that. So yeah, you can't just think it's a getaway free card. It does taste amazing, but it's one of those ones you have at night when you're going to chill out, when you're going to sit there and be like, you know what, I want to drink, but I am not in the mood to go through like 4 beers. I'll have a screwdriver. All right, 2 shots in this one. Oh wow, I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, it's one of those types of drinks.
Yeah.
How do we find that out? It is literally only within those select limitations. Not okay. I'm gonna have a gallon of orange juice and pour this. No. It's a measured proportion for a reason. Some people understand that. People who don't should not be drinking.
Yeah.
When it came to this energy drink fiasco thing going on that everyone's now moved on with because it's been so long, it's straight up one of these things of they didn't know what they were doing. They chose to do this themselves. They are reaping the consequences of their actions. This is not their fault. Though they are stupid for saying it, they now know they have to do better to not say something so stupid publicly. That's it. That's what you have to walk away from. And people just keep harping on this whole thing like it's a huge issue. It's a learning. It should be a learning thing.
Well, knowing the Nijisanji management, nothing will be learned, but still.
Probably.
At least it should be learning experience, but knowing the Nijisanji management, it will probably be swept under the rug. They will fire some of them, and they will hire more college students who get paid minimum wage. That's probably what will happen.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to turn into one of those things where all of this goes on. Because some people just... It is what it is.
It is
But
what it is.
it's straight up just one of those times where you got to learn better. Gotta learn.
I'm glad I learned a lot today, honestly. Even though I kind of was sleepy. I think both me and Zehnpie was a little sleepy there. But definitely good stuff. What do you think about the show so far, honestly? I'm curious.
To
Both of you.
To who?
Both of you.
What? Oh. Look, I'm like sleep deprived, so
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Like, what do you, even though the sleep deprivation is like catching up to both of us, I feel like I'm just curious what both
well,
of
I
you
did get a Happy Meal.
Good. Did you enjoy yourselves? Like, am I a good host?
Yeah. The scuff aside, you're excellent. It was a lot of fun. This has been a learning experience to actually get out there and
Yeah.
chat with other people who are also content creators
Yeah.
of larger size, other like size, and just all around different people.
Yeah.
It's nice that you're not clones of each other or you're trying to be Tweedledum and Tweedledee. You're 2 exactly different content creators. And it's nice to be a part of that, to be, this is equally a young person, like a legitimately younger content creator who looks at the world from a rational point of view.
Nice.
And someone who's my own age looking at the world from a like point of view.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Refreshing.
It's really nice to see that.
So that's why I hope to invite a lot of other people here to maybe like 2 or 3 people depending on per week, depending on things. I'll have more like a first 10 episodes. I'll have try to have fresh people, and then I might try inviting like older people from older episodes, depending on things, into new episodes. We'll see.
That sounds good. Then you can keep
brain
things
rot
fresh.
to add. You need the Zuma brain rot.
Definitely.
You
Zima.
need that.
Yeah, Zima brain rot.
Zima. Yeah, Zima. Did I say Zemer?
Zemer.
My dude, get some
Make that
magnesium and
sleep
get a nap.
right.
Yeah.
Take some magnesium, go ahead and get ready for bed.
Yeah. All right.
Best off.
I think we're gonna pause here, stop here. Aside from Scarf, it has been really fun. My computer reset, and I was actually really glad that it saved the stream, and I went back in, and it fucking continued. I was able to.
And I still had a black hole behind me.
Yeah, you still have
never
black hole behind me.
changed.
Honestly, that's your. I think that's a your thing. I don't think it's my thing. It's a ninja thing. Whatever is happening here is
What?
on your side. It's not on my side.
Well, I don't know. I've never done this before, so it might be. It's probably definitely a me thing. But I don't see anything wrong. I don't know exactly
I
what's
don't
like,
know
wrong
either.
with my
I don't know
thing.
either. If on Morgan's side Ninja is working properly, on your side I'm not sure why it's not working properly.
I mean, maybe me being cloned are actually a blessing.
Maybe
Could be. Double the fun.
double the fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
was
think
gonna
this should be it for now. This has been fun though. Any last words? I know it sounds ominous, but any last words, you two?
Come.
I think about. I think the
Join
bigger
me
part is final words. Please be smart. Please be aware. Watch what you say, and unless you're in the comfort of other things going on, be aware of what's going on. But
Well, the
keep being
funniest thing I've
yourselves.
learned is like what? Don't be like older people.
Don't be like us, yes.
Kinda. Please be interesting.
Please be
You can
interesting.
be yourself,
Yeah.
but be interesting.
Yeah.
If you are a dull husk of a person, know your limits. Because
Yeah.
you may not be a
Interesting.
content creator, may not be the person in front of a camera. That does not mean that you are not a feasible person behind the camera to
Yeah.
make things run, to make things happen.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people overlook that. They
Yeah.
think you have to be in front of the camera. You have to be the one in front.
Mhm.
You have to be that.
Yeah, definitely.
People have severely overlooked the consequential lack of help. The person in back who goes and works the magic to make things happen.
Oh yeah.
People don't always
There's severe
think that
lack,
person.
There's severe lack of managers on the scene. Like genuinely, there's no people working manager jobs on indie scenes like at all. None of them.
Not even just manager, just support. How do I do this? I don't fucking know. Go in
supports,
their Discord.
helpers, like
I don't
none of that.
know.
Managers, supports, helpers,
Yeah.
none of that. They don't exist. Please be managers. I need a manager. I need a manager.
Managers, reach out to this man.
Yeah, please man, reach out to me. I need a manager.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, I guess that's why you join a company, I guess.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
sell
maybe.
your soul.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
So many other VTubers I know are literally going to that mental aspect of, man, I'm just not growing. I don't know what to do. I'm bored with this character. I'm gonna make a new one. Maybe I should join a company. Bruh. If you were bored doing
how
this
would
shit,
making a
you're
new
gonna-
one work out if it's already not working? I don't see how that would change anything.
I don't know. Stagnancy leads to people being fucking stupid, deciding that, hey, maybe if I reinvent myself, it'll work better than how it is now. Well, if you reinvent yourself and you're still the same person, then just spent money on nothing. Congratulations, you played
Seems
yourself.
Like change your content then. Why would you change your model? Like it's
Yeah,
inherently
right.
probably just based on your content.
Yeah, exactly.
Try new
I don't
things
like where
out.
my content's going.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should try
Like,
something
'cause
different.
How I see things is that if you're stagnating and you're not growing, you're not big, then you have nothing to lose. So why not try new shit?
Exactly.
Because if you don't have an established audience anyway, what the fuck's the point?
Mhm.
You don't
But
have an
here's the thing.
audience. So
I've seen people with established audiences get to that same point.
mm,
Their entire thing boiled down to, I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm afraid of the fallout that will follow, accompanying
Yeah.
my not wanting to do this. So it's like, okay, then what you do is exactly that. You can make a new self, but it has to be completely new. And instead, what I see them do is change their old Twitch or whatever else to the new account, so they keep their numbers, they keep their monetization, and they go on from there. But they'll make a new X, new Twitter, and it's like that doesn't work. Now you're just using the same people who knew you from your past self under a new self who you want no association with the old self. Not just that, but you're trying to do new content under that same self that you don't want any reference to. Yet, you're just digging yourself further into that hole, and you're spending money on top of it.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Doesn't make any logical sense to
Hey,
me.
No,
So be smart. So be smart. That's the conclusion here. Be smart. Try to
Yes.
extract some points of wisdom from our ramblings here, because we have had
Not for
some,
me though.
We have had some points of wisdom. You also had some points of wisdom. Don't be like that.
But I'm too young. I'm Zoomer brained.
You also have
that's
some
exactly
wisdom
why you
points.
have points of wisdom.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you actually have a decent fucking brain that has the ability to have cognitive ideas. That is a reflection of yourself. You can actually look at something objectively and be like, damn, y'all old people are supposed to be an example, and here you are acting like the kids that are shoving other kids in toilets.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow up.
Grow up. That
was the big takeaway I saw.
Yep.
From you, that was the big takeaway.
Yep.
That you saw that people my age, bigger creators, are sitting here who are supposed to be an inspiration to content creators, acting like spoiled, rotten teenagers who need to get slapped.
Exactly. So learn.
Because I guess it's in that sense, it's like those are the kind of people that I'm supposed to sort of, in a sense, be looking up to. Because it kind of is like that. Like, I do look up to creators who are older than me and are like more established and bigger. There is that sort of ideology where I do look up to those people, and it is in the sense of a lot of them. When I look at them, it's like, oh, these people aren't as like sensible
or admirable or
as
anything,
mature as I thought they actually were when I looked at them before.
They're not as infallible as I thought they were. And then it turns out it's like the don't meet your heroes. Well, you start to watch them and you're like, oh, I really don't want to meet you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So ultimately, judge things on how you see fit, and judge and try to apply logic to things and not follow the usual let's just do what everyone else is doing thing, because that's ultimately why a lot of the reasons stupid arguments occur, because you just want to follow what everyone else is doing, and that's why you're being a piece of shit sometimes, because you want to just follow what everyone else is doing. And try to find and exercise your own logic, your own understanding of things without being overly influenced by everyone else around you, and have a happy meal. Goodbye.
Exactly. Take care, everyone.
Have
a nice night.
Have a nice night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.